welcome back to Window World Field here tonight in Millers Creek as we get you set for our game of the week between the West Wilkes Blackhawks and the North Wilkes Vikings. And Keith, it's time to get to our picks here tonight as we've got our list of 5 games we're going to be keeping people up to date with. Now, Wilkes Central East Surrey along with Forbush North Surrey is not being played here tonight due to some COVID issues at East Surrey and North Surrey. So those 2 games have been postponed to later dates here in the month of October. So those 2 games, Forbush and North Surrey had some implications in the upper end of this conference tonight before that game was getting postponed. But we start out from the bottom and we'll work our way up on our Randy Marion of Wilkesboro scoreboard. Mount Airy taking on Starmount in a old rivalry that's getting renewed tonight. No love lost between the Rams and the Granite Bears. Keith, I think I think the game's in the bag by the second quarter. I think Mount Airy rolls over Starmount tonight.
Well, I tell you what, as we've alluded to, this is one of the premier 1A football teams in Northwest North Carolina.
You want a dominant football program this year, and we're going to see them in a couple weeks on a Monday night game when Coach J.K. makes his triumphant return to Rhonda for the first time on the opposing sideline. And we're definitely looking forward to that, seeing J.K. back in Rhonda, because I got quite a feeling he's going to bring a vengeance train with him on his trip back to Rhonda. But also tonight, Allegheny taking on North Stokes, a much improved North Stokes squad than from years past under new coach Jamie Fortner. Coach Fortner's got them at 3-3 this year. Allegheny at 1-3. I like North Stokes to get to 4-3, Keith.
Well,
every time we pick against Allegheny, they find a way to win.
So, but I got to go along with the Vikings.
Yeah.
Once again, Allegheny's going to have to prove to us that, and they will more than likely.
Oh, yeah. So we'll be keeping up with that. The Bucking Elks of Elkin have entered the top 25 ranks again after their Battle of the Bypass win on Monday night over East Wilkes. They are the 24th ranked 1A team in the state. They bring their 3-1 record. It's homecoming night down on the banks of the Big Elkin Creek tonight. They take on a very game Surrey Central squad. Keith, I think this is one of the tougher games to pick from this week because I think even though Elkins doesn't have maybe some of the other weapons Surrey Central has, I think Elkin is disciplined enough and coached well enough that they can hang with a Surrey Central squad.
Well, I went with the Golden Eagles when they played the Eagles, so I'm going to go with the Golden Eagles.
There you go. You're going to ride Surrey Central. And then, Keith, as I look at it, I'm going to be right there with you. I like Surrey Central tonight. I just think they're playing good football right now. Coach Monty Southern has got those boys playing quality football, and they're on a roll right now. Then we get to the game going on over in Rhonda tonight. Coach Dave Diamond brings his South Stokes Sawyers with a 2-3 record up to Rhonda. East Wilkes is in a free fall right now. They started 2-0, and now they are just on a losing streak where they've lost 3 straight ball games here. Keith, what do you think tonight? Coach Diamond, and they've got a really good, very talented running back at South Stokes this year. And as we've seen, Elkin carved East Wilkes up in the running game on Monday night.
Well, the big thing is East Wilkes got the penalty bug out of their system.
That's the thing.
If they had the penalty bug out of their system, it could very well be I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
That's it, and I'm right there with you, Keith. I think East Wilkes gets back to their ways tonight. I think they should be able to, if you rely on Briggs Gentry, ride Brody Martin, that should be enough to get you through tonight. Then you got this game here, our game of the week, the West Wilkes Blackhawks and the North Wilkes Vikings. No love lost between these 2 programs. The JV game last night, North Wilkes took it on the chin. West Wilkes rolled to a 48-0 victory with their undefeated, very talented JV group that Coach Collett talked about on our Coach's Corner segment during our Countdown to Kickoff show. And so the future's bright up here, but this year with this group, things haven't went as planned after they went 3-4 in the spring with the bulk of this group. North Wilkes is hungry for a win. I can promise you West Wilkes is hungry for a win. They're trying to turn the tide of this season and at least grab a win in the county this year. Keith, who do you have here tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, after I've not had a chance to see West Wilkes play, but I had a chance to see the Vikings.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, DeAndre Corpening makes a big, big difference in this Viking team.
Absolutely,
that's something that they've not had in the past, a little speed. And, every time West gets up against a team with a little speed, they have a hard time with that. So I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Absolutely. And On paper, Keith, I'm right there with you. I think North Wilkes has just got a little bit too much in the athleticism category, and I think North Wilkes is the team that's going to pull this game out when it's all said and done tonight. So that's our picks across the board here tonight, across our Randy Marion of Wilkesboro scoreboard. You look at our captains tonight down at midfield. You got Logan Wayne, the quarterback for this Blackhawk bunch. Also number 56, that is Alex Rowland, and also number 52, that is Gary Call. Your three captains representing the Blackhawks. Zach Wyatt, the lone captain, coming out to midfield for North Wilkes. In fact, Keith, they've overhauled some things this week at West Wilkes, actually trimmed down the number of captains that they have out on the team because of they're wanting to try and get the toughest kids out there to represent this football program. Coach Collett was adamant in our pregame show coverage during the Countdown to Kickoff show. He feels like they've not left it out all on the field this year a single time. He feels like they've not give enough heart, enough effort. He's really challenged this program this week vocally. Can they leave out there on the field what we saw them able to do in the spring? Because when we saw West Wilkes in the spring, Keith, whether they were on the short end of the stick or they won, this team left it out there nearly every single time we saw them play.
Well, West Wilkes beat North Wilkes in the spring.
Yeah.
But you got to realize one thing. North Wilkes didn't have DeAndre Corcoran either.
That's it. That's exactly right. And West Wilkes also had the likes of Dylan Ball and Garrett Patrick and Braxton Church, guys that really were huge contributors to that football team a year ago. So the coin toss has been made. West Wilkes, I believe, is going to receive the opening kickoff. So the offense is going to come out on the field first here tonight. So Coach Collett has decided to put guns blazing from the start here tonight as this Blackhawk offense will take shape here. A pretty good crowd has filed into Window World Field tonight. On the far side, you see a lot of blue and white. The bank is full to our right tonight, and then underneath us as well. What should be a great night for high school football. It is beautiful weather. We are here October 1st. It is officially fall. Keith, you can't ask for much better. It's a clear night in Millers Creek for some high school football.
Well, the best part about it is when we were here in the spring,
we froze.
Well, and we still got brown grass. So that's more football conducive to football type weather. But, I'm glad that West Wilkes still has the motorcycle.
That's it. Anytime you got the Harleys revving up to come through, it's a West Wilkes tradition that'll live forever. The Harleys on the field, the players run through the banner. The American flag comes being toted tonight. And the Blackhawks are hungry for win number 1 on the season, while North Wilkes is looking to get Coach Dave Wotecki his 3rd career win. What should be a great inter-county action is going to kick off 3 weeks straight of inter-county football tonight, Keith. We got West and North this week, North and Central next week, and then 2 weeks from tonight, we've got West Wilkes and Wilkes Central. So we've got a string of good inter-county football, and we're glad to also be partnering with these inter-county games like we have earlier this year with RiverStreet Productions and Wilkes Communications. What a great job they have done with our combination simulcast video and play-by-play broadcast here this year. A new venture we have started. They have done a great job, and look for this game to be available in a full video broadcast with our commentary coming up the first part of this week. Keith, we've got 2 games in the bag so far with it this year, and it absolutely looks great.
Well, I tell you what, I'm awful tickled that they're willing to work with us, and I tell you, it
means a lot.
It sure does, and we appreciate RiverStreet and appreciate them partnering with us. And I tell you what, I don't know about you, but it makes for a lot better watching the game.
Absolutely it does. So here we go. Ball teed up on the 40-yard line. Pennington set to kick it away. Samuel Pennington. You got Luke Tharp back deep to receive for the Blackhawks. And it's going to be Shane Gregg who gets it. Gregg up to the 15 to the 20. Gregg trying to make a move. He makes one guy miss and then's going to get to the 25-yard line, and that's where the Blackhawk offense will come out. First down and 10 here tonight for the opening portion of this game here between the Blackhawks and the Vikings. This new-look offense that the Blackhawks have put in here tonight.
Reese Cleary on the stop.
Logan Wayne, the quarterback. They're going to be rolling with a single-back, pro-style offense tonight is West Wilkes. Something new that they've kind of ventured in on with their offensive struggles this year. You're going to see Gregg go out wide. Ball is on the far hash. Holt Hanchy is the tailback. Scott Green the sniffer back. It's going to be a handoff to Hanchy, and Hanchy's got good running room down to the 30-yard line for a gain of 5 on first down.
He's brought down by Parker Wells.
And Keith, Holt Hanchy is a kid. He's just a sophomore. We saw him take his lumps as a freshman on varsity at the spring, but this is a kid who has immense potential in this West Wilkes program.
Well, you know, the best thing about it is he's a north and south runner.
Yeah.
And with this particular offensive spread,
he fits.
He fits more apt than going outside.
Wayne under center on 2nd down and 5. Ball in between the hash marks. It's a handoff to Hanchy. Hanchy going to bounce it left, and he's to about the 33-yard line, and he's going to be about a yard short of the first down mark, or 2 yards short.
Good open field tackle by Parker Wells that time for the Vikings.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 2 for the Blackhawk offense. Just underway here in Millers Creek tonight. No score, 10:49 and rolling, first quarter clock. Crowd still piling in and parking in the parking lot, so we still got tons of football for you. We're glad you're listening tonight on Hometown Christian Radio as Wayne comes in under center. Hanchy the tailback, 2 receivers wide side. That's the top right side of the formation. And now we got a flag, and the Blackhawks are going to be backing up 5 yards. And somebody jumped, so that's going to turn this 3rd and 2 into a 3rd down and 7, and it may force the Blackhawks to dig into that passing game.
Well, you know, this particular offense, I like the offense. More or less of a traditional type offense, but it's not an offense where you're going to get a lot of yards on.
Absolutely. So let's see what the Blackhawks go with here. Ball in the near hash. Gragg and Tharp go wide side top right. Hanchy, the single back. Green, the sniffer back. It's going to be play action. He's looking for some running room on the outside is Logan Wayne. He's got his guy on the rollout. It's Shane Gragg, and that's going to move the chains for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. A great little comeback route by Shane Gragg.
Good job by Isaiah Rutherford on the stop.
Shane Gragg is the best-handed receiver the Blackhawks have. Keith, week 1 in the wing T offense, Gragg had been slid down to tight end, and Gragg was not a factor in the offense whatsoever. And how many times do we see Shane Gragg come up big in the spring?
Yeah, he did a great job, and, you know, he's one of them hands people.
First down and 10 Blackhawks. Ball just over the 35. It's a handoff to Hanchy. Hanchy around the right side to the 45-yard line and brought down just above to the 46, and that's going to be about an 8-yard gain to make it 2nd down and 2.
So far, a great job by the West Wilkes offensive line.
And that's the weak spot of this football team. That's the thing about it. That's the unit that has really kind of held this team back from reaching its full potential is the offensive line. But so far on this opening drive, Keith, they've held up well, and Hanchy's had running room. 2nd down and 8 for the Blackhawks as Wayne runs in with the play from the sideline. Ball is spotted far hash, just over the 45 at about the 46-yard line. Working close towards midfield. Far hash, you got 2 receivers bottom left side, and now a timeout being taken by the Blackhawks. Got to believe the play clock was getting low. The play clock officially not working on the field, and at this point in time, this timeout being brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, RiverStreet in Wilkesboro. So it's going to be 2nd down and 2 out of the timeout for the Blackhawks. No score with 8:57 to go. Keith, the thing about it is they've used up now just over 3 minutes of clock time on this opening drive, and they're still not past midfield yet.
Well, you know, the best thing about it is they're still in control of the ball, and I like the fact that they're, you know, if they're going to win this game tonight, they're going to have to keep the ball away from the North Wilkes.
That's it. You've got to keep the ball out of Wyatt and Corpening's hands if you are the West Wilkes coaching staff. You got to believe that's going to be your best chance to win here tonight. So the Blackhawks trot back out for 2nd down and 2. Ball at their own 46-yard line. Going to have 2 receivers to the wide side of the formation. Blackhawks driving right to left across your radio dial. Bottom left side of the formation is Gragg. Tharp is the inside slot receiver. It's going to be a handoff to Hanchy. Hanchy's got the first down and more across midfield up to about the 47-yard line. And that's another Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. Holt Hanchy on this opening drive being the featured tailback. And Keith, so far, so good.
Yeah, Parker Wells on that stop. And like I said, he's running between the tackles. And, I mean, that's where he's built for. He's built for running between the tackles.
So great job by the sophomore Holt Hanchy. First down and 10 Blackhawks. Ball is at the North Wilkes 48-yard line officially. Snap comes. It's a handoff, and Hanchy is met in the backfield. Nowhere to go.
That was Zane Shue. And that time right there, North Wilkes put 7 men in the box.
That's it.
And so, you know, you got to believe at this point in time when
they knew what was coming.
The coaching staff's going to have to change things up just a little bit.
And so Wayne comes back out, 2nd down and 11. Ball still hovering around the 48-yard line. We do not have individual yard markers, so we're guess spotting here when ball's in between each 5-yard line. Under center is Wayne. Snap comes. It's a handoff, Hanchy, and he's going to fall forward to about the 46-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and call it 9.
And, you know, once again, they've got themselves in almost a certain passing situation right here.
Well, Wayne is a threat with his feet. If you can give him enough time, which is why the Blackhawks made this switch to the pro-style single-back offense, because it puts an extra tight end or two up on that line of scrimmage to help that offensive line out. So if Wayne can roll out, he is a threat to beat you with his feet. So let's see what they do here on 3rd down and 9. Ball in the near hash, 2 receivers wide side. Snap comes. It's a pitch out. Hanchy. He makes one guy miss. Hanchy's heading to the 40-yard line. He breaks a tackle. He's close. He may be a yard short up above the 40 to the 39-yard line. Keith, you got to believe West Wilkes is going to go for it here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at this point in time, you're looking for anything positive. And, you know, to go this far down through here, and, you know, even if they punted the ball, I mean, it wouldn't help them all that much as far as switching field position. So
it'll be 4th and 1 for the Blackhawks. Ball at about the 38-yard line. Aim to get just over the 37. Holt Hanchy's in at tailback. Ball in the far hash. 2 receivers, bottom wide side. It's Greg Tharp, the inside slot guy. Scott Green, the sniffer back. Snap comes. It's a handoff to Hanchy. He's got the 1st down. Up to the 45. He's still on his feet. He's going down the sideline. Holt Hanchy all the way to the 15 and just inside the 15. And that's an Elk Outdoors of Elkin 1st down. And the Blackhawks are going to set up inside the G&B Energy red zone. Keith, just great. What the doctor ordered on this opening drive.
Yeah, great run by Hanchy, and he's going to come off for a well-deserved break.
Mason Billings is going to spell him, and Holt Hanchy, Keith, that was pure second effort. He was bottled up and then found a way to break free, and down the sideline he went.
Well, you know, as you alluded to in the pregame, they're looking for some kind of spark. And
there's the spark, courtesy of Holt Hanchy.
There.
So let's see if the Blackhawks, now they're in position where they need a touchdown. 1st down and 10, ball at the 15-yard line. It's a toss to Mason Billings around the left side. Billings is to the 10, and he's going to be brought down there for a nice gain of 5 yards. Mason Billings, a young man that a lot of people may not know a lot about at this varsity level. He is a young man who carried that JV team in the spring. He was the entire offense back in the spring on the JV team for the Blackhawks. He is a very strong runner who can spell Hanchy, and they're really like a thunder and lightning combo. Hanchy provides speed, and as they call him up here, Moose provides the power.
Drew Wingler on that stop.
2nd down and 5 for the Blackhawks. Handoff Billings. He's got running room. Billings is down near the goal line, and that's a Blackhawk touchdown for Mason Billings from 10 yards out, and the Blackhawks strike first on this opening drive. They march it down the field 75 yards and go up 6-0. And guess what, Keith? That is the first touchdown of the year for the Blackhawk offense. It finally happens here in Week 7. What a drive by this bunch here, and the Walker Brondos PAT is coming up. Travis Walsh to hold. The snap comes, Walsh's hold, kick is up by Brondos, and it is good. So with 6:06 to play here in the first quarter, it's Blackhawks 7, Vikings nothing. You're listening to high school football on 3 WC. And welcome back to Window World Field here tonight in Millers Creek. And Keith, if you're West Wilkes and Coach Phil Collett, you couldn't ask for a better start to this game.
No, almost a 6-minute drive. Now, let's see if you don't want to kick that ball to Corpening. Let's see what happens right here.
So Brondos is going to tee it up on the 40-yard line. He's actually going to kick from the near hash. So let's see what they do here. You got Corpening back deep. and his running mate, we can't get a bead on his jersey from here. You might have to pull out the binoculars, Keith. We're high atop Window World Field tonight.
It's number 3.
That's number 3, Drew Winkler, his running mate back there on the left side. As Brondos runs up, he's going to boot it deep. And it's going to Corpening, and Corpening fields it at the 9-yard line. Corpening trying to find some running room, and great contained by the Blackhawks special team unit as Corpening won't even make it to the 25 to about the 24, and the North Wilkes offense comes out first down and 10. And Keith, you're seeing this West Wilkes group, they're playing with a little bit of fire after that opening drive.
Yeah, that's what they really needed, and kind of surprising. I figured Corpening would be out there playing at tailback right now, but he goes over to the sidelines.
So here we go. It's going to be first down and 10. The back in the backfield is Justin Hayes. We saw Hayes have a pretty good week last week as Wyatt's in the pistol, ball in the middle of the field, 2-by-2 to both sides. Snap comes to Wyatt. He's back to pass. He's looking. He's going deep. He's got Drew Winkler, but he overthrows him as Winkler went right by Luke Tharp and had him beat. Luckily, he had some help out of Travis Walsh as the safety over the top. But it's going to be second down and 10, so North Wilkes tried to take their shot right out of the gate.
Yeah, if Winkler catches that ball, I mean, he might have scored on that one.
That's going to be the key. Can the Blackhawk defense hold this North Wilkes offense? Defense has not been kind to the Blackhawks this season, and neither has offense until tonight on the opening drive. You see that 5-man front for the Blackhawks. Snap comes. It's Zach White on the quarterback draw. He's got running room around the left side. He's up to the 40, and he's going to be out of bounds up near the 45-yard line, and that's going to move the chains for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. Quarterback Zach White. Keith, we saw him do that quite a bit against Ashe County last
week. He's a very effective runner right there, and usually when he takes off, it's usually for the best for the Vikings.
Absolutely. So it's going to be first down and 10 North Wilkes. Ball is at their own 42-yard line. 5:37 to go first quarter. Blackhawks leading 7-0 here in Millers Creek. Pistol formation, ball on the far hash, 2-by-2 receiver set to both sides. Wyatt takes the snap. Quick throw, and it's going to be incomplete as he was looking for number 7, Reese Cleary. So it's going to be second and 10 for North Wilkes. Keith, West Wilkes running a 5-2 defense. You got to believe the name of the game is try to get a pass rush on Zach White.
Well, the other thing is on their particular defensive, the middle of the field's wide open.
That's the thing.
So, you got to believe you're a North Wilkes coach. They need to pass that along.
Chase White subbing out for Holt Hanchy at linebacker here. Second down and 10 North Wilkes, 2-by-2 to both sides. Single back shotgun set. Still no DeAndre Corpening out there at running back just yet. Hayes still tailback. Snap comes. Going to ride hard the RPO, and he's met in the backfield. Great job by the Blackhawk defense. I believe that is
66 or 56.
66. That is Elijah Ramirez. Keith, this young man is a starting defensive end and starting left guard on the JV football team who is playing up tonight. He is an absolute man. I've seen it with my own eyes. He is one of the future bright spots for this Blackhawk team on the line. He's just a freshman. So third down and 12, back to the 40-yard line. Wyatt back to pass. He's going to throw, and it's going to be batted away. Great coverage that time by Russell Patrick, and a flag comes in. Is this a hold, Keith, against North Wilkes?
Well, it's in the vicinity of a hold. Let's see. But
if you're West Wilkes, you got to believe they'll decline this. Yes, it's a hold on North Wilkes.
Yeah, he had Winkler deep. He just didn't. He tried to throw the ball short.
West Wilkes is going to take the penalty instead of forcing fourth down. I'm a little bit shocked by that decision. I don't went ahead and just let them punt the football to me. Well, now wait a minute. They're going to mark it back up. Hold the phone. Maybe they decided. Here's what I don't understand. When you decline a penalty, why mark it back like you're taking it, then put it right back in the same spot? That's something I just don't understand.
Well, you see, the referees need some exercise.
Well, I guess that's the only decision. So, nonetheless, he walked back a few yards, walked back 15, walked back up 15, got him 30 yards in. So, Luke Tharp back to field this punt. And I believe North Wilkes jumped early. Did West Wilkes get a timeout? I think West Wilkes called a timeout.
And they've already used 2 of their 3.
And this timeout being brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, River Street in Wilkesboro. So, 4:52 to go first quarter. Our score is West Wilkes 7, North Wilkes nothing, and the Vikings getting ready to pump the football back to West Wilkes. And Keith, if you're West Wilkes so far, you're 2 for 2 in the win category tonight. You drove the field great as you drove it 75 yards on the opening drive and used 6 minutes of clock time. And then you force North Wilkes to only 4 offensive plays on their first offensive drive before they have to decide to punt the football, we believe.
Great job so far by the Vikings. And
the Blackhawks.
Other than that run, the one run by Zach Wyatt, that's really the only offense that North has had. But you talk about the Blackhawks needing something. If they can
get up
together
2
another
scores.
Score right here, this is what the doctor ordered for them.
So it's going to be 4th down. Call it about a 4th down and 13. North Wilkes set to punt the football away. So Wyatt stands back to punt. You got Luke Tharp and Shane Gregg back to receive the punt. Snap comes. He boots it away. Tharp is going to come up. He's going to let it bounce. And Tharp's going to let it die. Honestly, Keith, he could have caught that football and maybe got some running room. But nonetheless, there's a flag down back at the 45-yard line. Hold on. Let's see what the flag's for. Hold on. We saw plenty of flags Monday night in the Battle of the Bypass, Keith. So let's see as we await the penalty flag. White Hat is discussing flags down at the 45-yard line. The West Wilkes offense and the North Wilkes defense is out on the field as we're waiting to see what the penalty flag is for. Officials are congregating at about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that our officials tonight give us a little bit more warning or what they're going to call. Looks like a block in the back
against West Wilkes. So that's going to back them up. Block in the back. So that's going to put the Blackhawks back.
Probably about the 10-yard line.
They're going to be somewhere close.
The flag has appeared on the field.
So block in the back against the Blackhawks. And that's going to back them up. Let's see, the White Hat's standing on the 15-yard line. Now he's addressing that it's a block in the back again. Yes, we understand.
It's about, 14?
That's going to back them way
It'll be 1st down and 10 at their own 14-yard line. 4:41 to go first quarter. West Wilkes leading 7-0 here. Hanchy the tailback, Wayne under center, ball on the far hash. It's a handoff to Hanchy, and Hanchy's got running room and trucks a man down across the 20-yard line to the 21-yard line. Great run by Holt Hanchy. He's going to have to come out due to his helmet popping off. But Keith, that young man will lower his shoulder and go. He's fast and he's powerful.
Well, the best thing about it, especially with an offensive line in high school, you don't have – all you need to do is just have a quick – open hole, and he hits the hole very quick. So he's a tip. I like that. It ain't like the NFL where you got to wait. But he hits the hole very quick.
2nd down and 1, ball on the far hash. Turnaround handoff to Braden Woody, and Woody's got room up the gut down to the 30-yard line. Braden Woody, who is not playing healthy tonight, he's got a banged-up shoulder, but Braden Woody that time moving the chains for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin 1st down to the 30-yard line, and the Blackhawks are moving the chains again. Under 4 minutes to go first quarter, and they have a 7-0 lead.
Isaiah Rutherford on the stop. And I tell you what, a lot of these tackles are being made by the linebackers.
The back end of the defense. Ball, middle of the field, 2 receivers to the top right side. Blitz come. It's a handoff, Braden Woody, and Woody is going to have some running room down across the 35 to the 37-yard line. But I believe, did North Wilkes come early, Keith?
To me like they came early.
Let's see what the call is.
Up to about the Blackhawk 37.
We got a hold against West Wilkes. That's going to back them up.
Looked to me like North Wilkes was lucky they didn't get an offside call.
It looked like the linebacker came through the A gap, and it looked like he came across over into the neutral zone.
That was Parker Moore.
So that's going to back the Blackhawk offense up to the 19-yard line.
That'll change up 1st down. That'll make it 1st and long.
So 1st and 20 now. 1st and 20. Ball going to be marked at the 20-yard line officially. 3.5 minutes to go first quarter. Ball middle of the field. Wayne under center. Snap comes. Handoff Braden Woody around the right side. And Woody's going to be bottled up. I see big number 75, Matthew Gozleski, in on the stop for North Wilkes. And that's going to be maybe a yard, maybe, for second down and 19. And now here comes Hanchy back in for Braden Woody. Logan Wayne going to run the play in from the sideline. Play clock is not working here tonight. It's being kept down on the field, but at least we got a game clock and we got a scoreboard in front of us, unlike last week up in West Jefferson, Keith.
Yeah.
Which is a big help, so we can tell you that there's 2 minutes, 48 seconds ticking, first quarter clock. Wayne under center, Hanchy the tailback, 2 receivers to the bottom left side of the formation. It's a pitch out to Hanchy. Hanchy trying to find some running room. He's across the 20 to the 25 and is going to be drugged down at about the 26, 27-yard line. Good
brought down
contain
by Alex Ball.
Good contain by the North Wilkes defense, Keith, but also a good job by Holt Hanchy. It really looked like he was going to be bottled up in the backfield, and he was able to stretch that out as far as he could to turn something to get back closer to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that time you could tell he was wanting to go inside, but, the great Viking defense, was just had it packed up in there.
So it's going to be third down, call it about 14 for the Blackhawks. Ball is just over the 25 at the 26-yard line. Wayne under center. He takes the snap. Play action, he's looking. He's got Shane Gregg wide open, middle of the field, and Gregg can't come up with a football. Shane Gregg was open and had running room and just a little bit out of his reach. And now the Blackhawks are going to have to punt. Keith, that was nearly a big play for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, that right there would have brought the crowd to their feet. Great throw that time by Wayne. He led him perfectly.
And now the Blackhawks are going to have to punt the football back to the Vikings, as you've got Drew Winkler standing back at the 40, Walker Brondo standing at the Blackhawk 15 to punt the ball away. 1:50 to go first quarter. Snap is good. Brondos gets a nice leg as it's a sidewinder. It's going to bounce at the 45 and die out at about the 43-yard line. So North Wilkes will take back over. First down and 10 at their own 42, 43-yard line. 1:39 to go first quarter. West Wilkes is leading 7-0. So let's see, that Viking offense stalled all but for one Zach Wyatt run on that first drive, and now DeAndre Corpeting back in the game at running back. And so we'll see if number 4 gets the football right out of the gate here. Going to be 2 receivers to both sides. Ball's on the near hash. Still that 5-2 defense for the Blackhawks. Snap comes. It's an option to Corpeting around that left side, and Corpeting's trying to get some running room, and he's going to be brought down at about the 45-yard line.
Brought down by Wayne and Hanchy.
Keith, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the only one on that field that may have a chance at keeping up with Corpeting for just a little bit is Holt Hanchy. That's going to be the only one that I think can come close. Without Jared Minton, West Wilkes losing a big athlete and not having Jared Minton.
Yeah, he's their speed guy. So.
Second down and 5. Going to be a handoff to Corpeting. Right up the middle he goes, and he falls down at the 50-yard line. He's still short. If it wouldn't have been for his own lineman in his way, Keith, he had room to run.
Yeah, he hit that hole real quick, and, he was into the second level.
Third down and call it a long 2. Short 2, I should say. Ball is at the 50. Line marker to gain is about the 49, 48-yard line. Under a minute to play. 2 by 2. Ball is on the far hash. Wyatt takes the snap. It's looked to be a possible option play, but it's blown up in the backfield, and Zach Wyatt is going to be brought down with a loss of about 4 yards. A flag is down, so I don't know what the flag is, but Keith, there was a miscommunication there. Corpeting ran the wrong way after the snap.
Yeah, it looked like an RPO type thing, but as Wyatt turned around, there was nobody there. So
let's see what the flag is. Is it a hold against North Wilkes or a false start?
Well,
they're coming over to Coach
Wilkes.
Collett to ask him what he wants to do.
Looked like it was an offsides.
False start.
False start, yeah.
Penalties declined. It's fourth down and take the loss on the play. So now let's see what North Wilkes is going to do. It looks like they're going to go for it. Ball in the far hash, split backfield here. 2 receivers to the bottom right. That's the wide side of the field. Snap comes to Wyatt. Wyatt rolls left. Wyatt is going to be...
He's got the first down.
Let's see.
If the side judge has got the ball marked, he's right at the mark.
Let's see.
Made it just across the 50. Will that be enough?
They're going to measure. Official timeout for measurement.
Bring out the chains and measure
This is going to be close. It's going to depend on the spot. Boy, that was a gamble there by Coach Wotecki, Keith.
Yeah.
But we saw him roll the dice quite a few times last week in West Jefferson. He's not afraid to roll the dice when the dice need to be rolled. It's a first down. That's Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down.
I was looking at the side judge, and where he was, that was the first down by at least a half a football.
So now going to be first down and 10. North Wilkes at the Blackhawk 49-yard line.
You got to believe Coach Wotecki knows that after that score, he's going to have to do something to get his kids into this game.
Down to 15 seconds to play, first quarter. Ball on the far hash, 2 receivers to the wide side of the field. That's the bottom right side, split backfield. And Wyatt's out to pass. Wyatt has got a man open. It's Corpening, and he is going to break a couple of tackles, and he's got running room to the 30, 25-20, 15-10-5, touchdown, DeAndre Corpening. It's a 49-yard touchdown pass from Zach Wyatt to DeAndre Corpening. And the Vikings are an extra point attempt away from tying this game up at 7.
And that with no time on the clock.
That was the end of the first quarter at that. But, Keith, will they kick a PAT? We saw them struggle in that department last week. They went for 2 just about at all the time last Friday night in West Jefferson. So Pennington is going to kick the PAT. What fireworks to end the first quarter, a 49-yard touchdown strike from Wyatt to Corpening. Pennington for the PAT. Wyatt to hold. The snap, the hold, the kick is
good.
Right down the pipe. So we come to the end of our first quarter and our score. North Wilkes 7, West Wilkes 7. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back to Millers Creek as we start our second quarter here tonight. What a fun first quarter. Blackhawks 7, Vikings 7. North Wilkes going to kick it off from the 40-yard line after they ended the first quarter with a 49-yard DeAndre Corpening touchdown reception from Zach Wyatt to tie this game at 7. And Keith, a score update to our Randy Marion of Wilkesboro scoreboard. After one quarter, it's South Stokes 7, East Wilkes nothing. So the Sawyers trying to keep East Wilkes in their free fall that they're on. Pennington boots it away, and it's going to be fielded. Mason Billings drops the football, picks it up, tries to run with it. Billings has got some running room to the 30. He's on his feet, 35, picks up a big block, up to the 50, 45-40, down the sideline. Great return by Mason Billings. Are they going to throw a flag on Luke Tharp for that block? It was a clean block right to his face. There was not a block in the back. He hit him clean in the face.
Yep, they called block in the back.
They called that a block in the back, and Tharp absolutely decked him on the kick return. It was a great block. Man, that was a clean block. I can't believe they called it. Give Mason Billings some credit. That's a big boy to pick the football up off of a muff kick and run it that far down, and that's going to cost the Blackhawks. They would have started at the North Wilkes 30, and now they're going to have to set up shop first down and 10 at their own 39. Still good field position. I don't see how you call that block in the back because they were facing each other, and he just clean hit him between the shoulder blades. But nonetheless,
it was a side judge that called it. So.
Yeah. Here we go. Wayne under center. Hanchy the tailback. Scott Green the sniffer back. Snap comes. Handoff Hanchy. He's trying to get some running room. He's to the 45. Up near midfield, and that should be enough for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down to the North Wilkes 49-yard line.
Brought down by Drew Winkler.
Keith, you got a polar clash of styles tonight. West Wilkes' old school pro-style offense, under center, single back, just 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends, while North Wilkes has spread them out, modernized, spread game of high school football. It's kind of the games I like to call when you get 2 teams with opposing styles.
Yeah, I mean, also you got a lot of times North Wilkes is going with a 2-back set.
Absolutely. So here we go, 1st and 10, Blackhawks at their own 49-yard line. Ball is on the near hash. It's going to be a handoff to Hanchy, and Hanchy's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe to midfield. Maybe they give him a yard. They're going to give him a yard to the 50 for 2nd down and 9.
He's brought down by Israel Ferguson.
Great job by Hanchy really key just to pick up a yard.
Yeah, and you know, this is the thing about it is I think North Wilkes has finally figured this out. They're putting 6, 7 men in the box.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's going to be all about how does this West Wilkes offensive line hold up as the game goes on.
I mean, they're daring West to throw.
Wayne under center, and Hanchy's going to break 2 tackles, but then won't break the 3rd and the 4th as it's blown up in the backfield, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 13.
That's the first time we've seen North Wilkes into the backfield. I mean, they just fired off the ball that time and got through before they could even be blocked.
Sent about 8 guys on the blitz that time. As we're approaching the 10-minute mark here in the first half in a 7-7 ball game, it is 3rd down and 12. Blackhawks. Ball is at their own 48-yard line. Let's see what Logan Wayne and company does here. Ball middle of the field, 2 receivers, top left side of the formation. Snap comes. Play action pass. He's looking. He's got to do something. He steps up. He's going deep to Luke Thorpe. Back falls down, and Luke Thorpe's going to take it inside the 5 down to the 1-yard line. And it was Samuel Pennington that saved the touchdown. What a throw by Logan Wayne, and a great job by Luke Thorpe to look it in.
I tell you, Caden Bogus really had him covered. He just slipped and fell.
Yeah. And now it's 1st and goal Blackhawks at the North Wilkes 2-yard line. And they're going to set up 1st and 10 inside the G&B Energy red zone. Keith, this is the territory that I call Mason Billings. What about you?
Well, it's either going to be Billings or Hanchy. It looks like Hanchy's in there.
What a play for the Blackhawks. They've had more offensive movement in a quarter and a couple of minutes than they have all year. Wayne, quarterback keeper, and Logan Wayne's second effort push is going to get him in. Logan Wayne, a 2-yard touchdown run, and with 9:16 to go second quarter, West Wilkes has a 13-7 lead with a Walker Brondos PAT pending. Keith, how many times have you and I talked this year, this being the 8th game we've broadcast this year, that in short yardage situations, we just want to see the quarterback under center get the football and fall forward? How many times have we talked about that this year?
Yeah, you know, to me, that's one of the best plays for short yardage gain, and I still ain't figured out why you won't put your quarterback 6 yards behind.
I know. So Travis Walsh to hold, Walker Brondos for the PAT. The snap is good, and it's a fake. Travis Walsh going to roll to the outside. Walsh has got the edge, and Walsh has got a 2-point conversion. Great call by special teams coordinator Robert Johnson, and the Blackhawks now have a 15-7 lead with 9:16 to go second quarter. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back to Window World Field here in Millers Creek. 9:16 to go second quarter. Blackhawks lead North Wilkes 15-7 as Brondos is going to kick it deep to DeAndre Corpening. You're playing with fire if you're not careful. He's up to the 15 to the 20 and stumbles down to the 25-yard line, and that's where North Wilkes will start. 1st down and 10 with 9:08 to go first half.
You know,
I take you, I'm not a fan of them continuously kicking it to DeAndre Corpening. That young man, he's already burnt you one time. Well, you know, you're playing a dangerous game.
Well, you know, the both times they've kicked it to him, he stumbled.
Yeah.
So,
Blackhawks lead the Vikings 15-7 here. Ball on the far hash. 2 receivers to both sides. Corpening the tailback, and North Wilkes jumped. That's number 75, Matthew Gozlewski, the big left tackle. And he jumped, and that's going to back him up to the 20-yard line. So, 9:08 to go, second quarter, 15-7, West Wilkes leading North Wilkes. Keith, this is the best West Wilkes has looked all year.
Yeah, I mean, and this is I think this is the effort that the Coach Collett was looking for.
2-by-2, ball in the far hash. Corpening the tailback. Snap comes to Wyatt. He's going to step up, and Wyatt, great coverage on the outside by Zach Absher. Great job to seal his receiver off as he was guarding Pennington. Keith, that is DB play 101.
Yeah, and the thing about it is we've seen this with East Wilkes. They keep trying to throw the home run ball.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't need to throw the home run ball right now. I mean,
why go for 20 yards when 5-7 yards will do you just as good? 2nd down and 15. Snap comes. Handoff Corpening. He's got running room up to the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10 for North Wilkes.
And see, if that young man gets 5 yards, all right, if they run that the first time,
you're in a better position.
A whole lot better. Now you're almost in a passing situation now.
3rd down and 10. A hold here by the Blackhawk defense would definitely force a punt. I don't think you're going to go for it backed up in your own territory like this in a 15-7 game. 8.5 minutes to play, first half. 2-by-2 receiver set to both sides. Snap comes. It's a screen to Corpening, and Corpening's got running room. Corpening trying to outrun. Corpening is still on his feet to the 40. Corpening hesitates, now cuts back across the field. Corpening is still on the run. He's got one man to beat, and Corpening to the 30. He's got the edge. No, going to be tackled far side all the way down. There's a flag down back at the 20-yard line. Hold the phone. There is a flag down back at the 20-yard line. Keith, it's coming back. It's coming back.
Well, I tell you what, he switched positions on the field so many times. You got to believe there's a block in the back here somewhere.
It's a block. It's a blocking foul. I don't know if it's a chop block or a block in the back. But that's going to back, Keith, if you're Coach Dave Woteke, you got to pull your hair out because that right there, that was a near 50-yard gain, a 55-yard gain that's going to be wiped out.
Well, like I said, he changed field. He went from one side of the field to the other, and usually when that happens, you're going to have a block in the back.
Well, and nonetheless, that's a killer for North Wilkes and a big sigh of relief for Coach Jared Story, the defensive coordinator up here at West Wilkes. And that's going to back North Wilkes into their 10-yard line. Keith, it is now 3rd down. The yard marker to gain, you're at your own 10. You got to it's 3rd and 25. You think they look for a screen, maybe back to Corpening again?
Well, I mean, the young man ran 100 yards that time.
So here we go. Ball in the near hash. You got trips wide receivers to the top right side of the formation. North Wilkes driving right to left across your radio dial. Solo receiver is Cleary here on the bottom left side. Under 8 minutes to go, first half. North Wilkes trailing West Wilkes 15-7. Wide in the pistol, he takes the snap. He's looking. He steps up in the pocket. He's going to throw. He's got a man open, and it's going to be incomplete. Great defense by the Blackhawks, and North Wilkes is going to have to punt the football away inside of their own 10-yard line. Great coverage by Travis Walsh and Logan Wayne on the far side of the field.
Wingler went up. I thought he might have even caught that. He threw it in the double coverage, but great job. And then, on that play right there, I believe I would have just run the ball, kicked the ball, and then had my defense.
West Wilkes may get good field position here, Keith. Wyatt standing in his own end zone to punt the football. You got Luke Tharp and Shane Gregg standing back below midfield.
North Wilkes called
and
timeout.
North Wilkes is going to burn a timeout. This timeout brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, RiverStreet and Wilkesboro. So 7:39 to go first half, and our score sets Blackhawks 15, North Wilkes 7. So, Keith, looking at it right now, you couldn't ask for a much better half of football so far if you're West Wilkes. Really, it's been one play that's killed you.
Yeah. I mean, and, the other thing is on that last score, seems like that the breaks this time are happening for, instead of going against West Wilkes, they're kind of helping because that defensive man tripping and falling on that pass really definitely helped the big deal. But now West Wilkes is going to get tremendous field position on this punt right here.
That's Wyatt standing back in his own end zone to punt the football away. You got Tharp and Gregg back to receive. Snap comes. Wyatt will get it away. It's going to be a low driver. It's going to be fielded by Greg. Greg is up to the 40, and that's where he'll go down at the 40-yard line with forward progress. Good open field tackle by number 24, Justin Hayes. But again, Keith, 7:25 to go first half, and the Blackhawks have tremendous field position as they're at the North Wilkes 40-yard line.
Yeah, this is a big defensive stand. If you're a North Wilkes Vikings follower, they've got to stop them right here, because it's going to be tough. You know, we've seen them go up with 2 scores down against Ashe County. But
that's not a hole you want to get used to putting yourself in if you're any football team.
No, and you know, the emotion between this game is a lot different than it was up at West Jefferson.
Yeah, not even close. Braden Woody, the tailback now. Handoff, Logan Wayne goes to Woody around the right side. Woody on his feet, 35-30, walks the tightrope, and they're going to mark him out at the 30-yard line, and that should move the chains for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. White Hat is saying first down, so that is going to move the chains. And Coach Wotecki is absolutely irate, and he's going to call another timeout. And this timeout brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, RiverStreet in Wilkesboro. 15-7, Blackhawks lead the Vikings. We're back in 30 seconds. And welcome back to Window World Field with 7:05 to go first half. It is Blackhawks of West Wilkes 15, Vikings of North Wilkes 7. Blackhawks have it first down and 10 at the North Wilkes 30-yard line. Braden Woody, the tailback, ball in the near hash, 2 receivers top left. It's going to be a handoff to Braden Woody. Woody up to the 25 to the 24-yard line. And Keith, when you've got Holt Hanchy, when you got Mason Billings, and now you got Braden Woody all averaging close to 5 yards a carry, what do you do if you're North Wilkes? There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, Israel Ferguson on that stop, and I tell you what, I think West Wilkes has found something out here, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, this is more old school. This is
their brand of football.
Yeah.
This is the West Wilkes brand of football.
For the last 20 years, this has been West Wilkes football right here.
Same formation, snap comes. Handoff Woody. Woody goes right side again. He bowls over a couple of guys for about a 2-yard gain to bring up third down and 4.
You know, I think back, I'm going to say about 10 years ago, there was a boy up here by the name of Staley, running fullback.
Zach Staley maybe, or not Zach Staley, but I know who you're talking about.
But, I mean, all they did was run him off tackle. What
about Tyler Woods? You remember when Tyler Woods was up here? Tyler Woods, another one of those guys.
And I mean, that was if Wilkes. I mean, that was Wilkes, West Wilkes. You knew you were going to have to stop the fullback or stop the back, and I like to see him go back.
Third down and 3. It's a handoff left side. Braden Woody. Braden Woody's got some running room, and he stumbles down to the 15-yard line. And he fumbled the football. Braden Woody fumbles the football, and North Wilkes catches a huge break as the first turnover of the night. West Wilkes players asking if he was not down. White Hat comes in, but I don't think, nope, it's Viking football. First down and 10, North Wilkes. And Keith, that could be the break North Wilkes has been looking for.
Well, they've been looking for something, because you got to figure the way that they're effectively running the ball right there.
West Wilkes had 6 on their mind.
Yeah.
So a big turnover. Now North Wilkes gets the football. First down and 10 at their own 15-yard line. 2 back set, 2 receivers top right, solo receiver wide side, bottom left, ball on the far hash, and North Wilkes jumps. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Vikings. North Wilkes has not made it easy on themselves here in this first half, Keith.
No, they sure ain't.
Officials stop play. Looks like a penalty.
Oh, is it going to be on West? Did they line up in the neutral zone?
I thought he said illegal substitution.
So that's going to actually give North Wilkes a free 5 yards.
That's a legal substitution. That was the indication that I got from the White Hat. So
I make it first down and 5 at the 20-yard line for North Wilkes. 5:49 to go, second quarter. West Wilkes leading North Wilkes 15-7. Split backfield here for quarterback Zach White to play with. 2 receivers short side, solo receiver wide side. It's going to be a handoff up the teeth of that defense.
Is that Bogus?
That was Caden Bogus, I believe, or was it Justin Hayes? That's Caden Bogus. Number 5, Caden Bogus. And that's going to move the chains for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. And we got a Blackhawk down. Blackhawk down at about the 33-yard line. Keith, can you get a bead on who it may be? Is that Shane Gregg? Oh, that would be a huge loss. if it's Shane Gregg. I believe it is Shane Gregg, the injured Blackhawk, down on the field. While he's down being looked at.
Number 12, Shane Gregg, is the injured Blackhawk.
We hope he's okay while he's being tended to. Let's pause for 30 seconds. We'll return after this. It's 15-7, West Wilkes leading North Wilkes. You're listening to high school football on 3WC. And the good news, Shane Gregg, as we're back here at Window World Field, walks off under his own power. That's a very tough young man, but it's 1st and 10 North Wilkes at their own 31-yard line. Corpening, there's a flag down as Corpening's going to get bottled up at the line of scrimmage. And Keith, I believe that's a hold or a false start against North Wilkes. What do you think? That's the vicinity.
That's in the vicinity of holding.
Number 3, Russell Patrick on the tackle.
And let's see.
You know, and how many times we saw that Monday night?
Oh,
I mean,
Lord help us. Monday night was awful. East Wilkes had 200 yards of penalties by themselves Monday night against Elkin.
It's holding on the Vikings.
They'll be holding against North Wilkes, so that's going to back them up. And Keith, that's been the thing so far here tonight, is just for the exception of the one play that Corpening was able to score on. It has been penalties that's kind of hampered these North Wilkes drives just a little bit to this point in the game. The penalties have really affected North Wilkes more than they have West Wilkes tonight.
Yeah, they kept putting themselves in the hole. And how many times we saw that Monday night? I mean,
East, it really hurt East down the stretch. But it's 1st down and 20 here for North Wilkes. Ball is at their own 14-yard line. Snap comes to Wyatt as he's going to roll right. He's going to step up. He's going to throw a bead pass to Drew Winkler down near the line marker to gain, and a late flag comes in.
That's going to be tackle out of bounds, I believe.
As Logan Wayne.
I mean, I don't understand quite that one, but I'm sure that's going to be.
It looked like he hit him and just drove him out of bounds, and then they fell down on the down marker. But let's see. Whitehat is talking over on the North Wilkes sideline. Logan Wayne got up and pointed towards North Wilkes. Do you think a kid on the North Wilkes sideline possibly could have said something when the players went down?
Well, I mean, you know, at this point we don't know. So, but it was at the end of the play, so it's got to be an unsportsmanlike.
Let's see.
Well,
is it going to be against North Wilkes? Oh, my goodness. That was a 1st down reception for Drew Winkler that is going to be wiped out because somebody on the sideline said something as the players came crashing down. Keith, if you're Coach Wotecki or you're Coach Gregory down on that North Wilkes sideline, you got to believe you were telling your players to watch themselves. Yeah, I mean, you got players not even in the game affecting.
Yeah, I mean, you know, these are we saw that the other night.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, these are things that don't need to be done in high school football.
2nd and long as Wyatt takes the snap. It's a quarterback draw, nowhere to go. And Wyatt is down. I believe that was Gary Call. Correct me if I'm wrong. It is number 52, Gary Call, in on the sack. And now it is 3rd down and long for North Wilkes.
Once again, North Wilkes has put themselves in a definitive passing situation.
If you're West Wilkes here, Keith, you got to believe after Braden Woody fumbled that football, if you could get out by forcing North Wilkes to punt here, that's a win.
Well, you got to watch that screen pass to Corpening right here.
2 receivers to both sides. 3rd down and long. Wyatt takes the snap. He's looking. He's going to dump it off to Corpening. Corpening trying to get some running room. Corpening is going to be bottled up at the 35-yard line, and that's going to force North Wilkes to punt. It's going to be about a 4th down and 7. I don't see that they actually go for it here on 4th and 7 from their own 35.
Yeah,
Do you,
4-13, but definitely made the situation a lot better than what they were in.
Yeah, absolutely. So as the clock is ticking, near 4 minutes to go first half, Blackhawks holding on to a 15-7 lead and going to get the football back. As that clock continues to tick, Zach White to punt. You got Shane Gregg and Luke Tharp back to field it. Good to see Gregg back out there. That's a tough young man.
Luke Tharp back to receive for the Blackhawks.
So White awaits the snap on the punt. Clock is ticking down. 3.5 minutes as the snap comes. He boots it away. And Tharp is going to run towards it and just let it die to the 25-yard line, and that's where it'll die out.
So, that's a pretty good punt that time.
Yeah, great job by Wyatt to flip field positions. Show with 3:27 to go in our second quarter. It's West Wilkes 15, North Wilkes 7. Blackhawks are going to have the football at their own 25-yard line. And, Keith, if nothing else, you got to believe, I know they want to score again, especially after they were in great position to score last drive. But if you could just milk the clock here and move down the field and keep the ball out of North Wilkes' hands and still go in a score up, the way this year's went for West Wilkes, that's a win.
Well, definitely. But, North Wilkes getting the ball at the start of the third quarter, I'd want to try my best to get up a couple of scores.
At least a field goal. Wayne under center. Snap comes. It's a handoff. Braden Woody. Woody around the left side, and he's not going to have much. One, maybe two from the 25 to the 26 for second down and 9.
That was Mason Elmore on that stop.
So keeping Braden Woody in there after he had a case of the fumbles on that last drive. Hadn't seen Hanchy in quite a while, Keith.
Yeah, he's been on the defensive side of the ball, but I've not seen him on the offensive side.
Clock is ticking. 3 minutes to go first half. Second down and 9 Blackhawks. Ball is at their own 26-yard line. Ball middle of the field. 2 receivers to the bottom right side of the formation. It's a handoff to Braden Woody, and he has nowhere to go with the football.
I tell you, there's a lot of Vikings pursuit to the ball. I mean, there's about 7 Vikings around the ball carrier right there. And, you got to believe at some point in time, I mean, they're leaving the middle part of the field just wide open out there. You got a tight end or something, run that little tight end dump over the middle.
That's it. Here's the thing, Keith. Do you let the clock continue to roll here? And if you're Coach Collett, where you're at on 3rd down and 10 from your own 25, clock is ticking down to 2:19. Do you keep the ball on the ground here and force North Wilkes to dig in and use another timeout? Because correct me if I'm wrong, they've only got 1 left.
Yeah.
Do you force them to use all their timeouts here? Wayne takes the snap. It's a play action. It's a screen. It's going to be dumped out to Woody. He makes one man miss. It's going to take on a whole host of Vikings as his helmet comes flying off.
He actually lost a yard on that play.
And Woody's not happy about it. And with 1:57 to go here in this first half.
Woody loses his helmet on the play there.
And let's see, North Wilkes, I believe you called their final timeout. They did. With 1:57 to go, West Wilkes is going to have to punt the football.
Timeout, North Wilkes.
I'm not really so sure, Keith, that Braden Woody is the ideal screen pass-catching back that I would use when you have a Holt Hanchy or a Mason Billings at your disposal.
Well, the other thing is whoever's calling out the defensive stance out there in the field called screen, you could hear him.
Yeah.
He called it out real quick, and you didn't see a lot of pass rush.
No.
I mean, they called screen right off the bat and really left for, allowed them to make that stop. But I still like that across the middle. I mean, I don't understand why they ain't throw that thing across the middle, because he'd be open every time. And he'd already been to the second level.
So 1:57 to go in the first half. Blackhawks still leading 15-7. North Wilkes, though, Keith, is going to have prime field position to try to put more points on the board before half. And this is where you could see momentum swing right here with North Wilkes getting the ball to start the second half if West Wilkes is not careful. Brondos to punt. It's low. He goes down and gets it. And the left-footed kicker boots it away. And that's Pennington. He's up to midfield. He makes one guy miss. Won't get past the second wave in Gary Call. But North Wilkes is going to have great field position with 1:42. 1:41 as the clock ticked down to. First down and 10 North Wilkes. Ball is at the West Wilkes 43-yard line.
Now, if you're North Wilkes right here, you just got to play good football, no penalties. When you can, try to stop the clock.
Here we go. Ball in the far hash, solo receiver, bottom left side is Reese Cleary. 2 receivers top right with a split backfield. Snap comes, it's Wyatt on a quarterback option around that right side, and Wyatt's got tons of running room, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. Keith, that's your one problem when you're running a 5-2 defense. All your guys are crashing down on that defensive line. You do not have much help around the outside.
No, I mean, in that time right there, your safeties are having to make plays for you.
Absolutely. A minute 34 to go. It is second down and a short 4, long 3. Ball is at about the 37, 36-yard line. Same formation, 2 backs in the backfield with White. He's going middle of the field. It's dropped. Oh, man, what should have been an easy reception for Solomon Pennington. but he's unable to bring it in, and it's going to be 3rd down and 4.
Well, I tell you what, it's almost good that he dropped the ball right there.
Because it saved clock time.
Because it saved clock time. I mean, there was no way he was going to get out of bounds right in the center of the field.
1:29 to go, first half. West Wilkes leading 15-7 over North Wilkes. 3rd down and 4 for the Vikings, just shy of the West Wilkes 35-yard line. It's an option play out to Corpening. Corpening's got a lot of running room, and that's a hold. It's coming back on Reese Cleary. So that's going to negate the run by Corpening that would have resulted in a first down. And Keith, once again, North Wilkes is not making it easy on themselves.
And really, the only thing that Cleary had to do was just get in his way.
Yep.
He didn't really need to block anybody at that point in time because Corpening had the outside edge.
That's going to back them up. Turn that 3rd down is going to bring them back here. So it's going to be marked off from the spot of the foul.
So it's going to be, what, 3rd and 7?
3rd and 7. And White going to be in the pistol formation here. Corpening the tailback. 2 receivers to both sides. Snap comes. White's got all day. Now he's going to dump it off to Corpening. Corpening going to cut it back across the field. Corpening is going to be brought down short of the first down marker to gain. And you got to believe North Wilkes is going to go for it here on 4th and 4. So clock ticking down to 48 seconds. Trying to move the chains. North Wilkes cannot stop the clock. They're down to 41 seconds. White, 2 receivers to both sides. Ball in the near hash, 37 seconds. Pistol formation with Corpening behind him. Snap comes. White looking. He's looking. He's still looking. He has to roll out under duress. Wyatt being chased by Mason Billings, and it's going to be incomplete.
Right off of Pennington's hands.
Luke Tharp on the coverage, and Pennington has him by a couple of inches, which could have aided him. But another drive stalls for North Wilkes. And Keith, that's a big win for West Wilkes right there.
It definitely is. And you got, to go in at halftime up by 1 score. I mean, it could very well easily been 2 tied ball game.
So I'm just happy we got a ball game here once again, Keith. We're being treated the past couple games. So let's see if they kneel on it here. Do you think they actually turn around and hand this football off and see if something breaks?
To me, I mean, I'm going into the if you want to call it the victory formation, but you got to believe that they're going to hand the ball to the fullback or.
Wayne under center. Snap comes. He's going to knee it.
West
Wilkes is going to take it to the halftime locker room. Guess what, folks? For the first time all season long, the West Wilkes Blackhawks have a lead in the football game, and it comes at the end of the first half. What a great first half on both sides. Our halftime break. It's West Wilkes 15, North Wilkes 7. Wilkes Communications halftime show starts now. Here on the Wilkes Communications halftime show tonight, we're being joined by the head men's basketball coach up here in the booth tonight, Coach Scotty Green. And Coach, I know for you, basketball season not too far away, but for people that remember, you have football roots too. You're a big football fan. When you first came to West Wilkes, you spent a few years on these coaching sidelines on Thursdays and Friday nights, so you know what the Friday night lights are all about.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's nothing like a Friday night in football stadium. A good crowd here, and our Blackhawks playing well right now.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, again, basketball season not too far away, a month and a half away as far as your first game, but you guys are going to get really geared up in about 4 weeks. The 1st of November, I know, really get the ball rolling with a lot of things. You've had, I would try to say, I guess, a little bit more normal of an off-season to an extent from what you had leading into the last basketball season that didn't start till after Christmas because of the pandemic. How did you find this off-season went compared to what you had to deal with beforehand?
It was it was better. We had some more time. We actually had a little bit of a summer. still didn't have a lot of summer because our baseball team done very, very well, which that's an awesome thing. We done a few things in June, and we done a few things in July. We've been trying to hit it 2 days a week here. The boys are working hard. I got a few out here on the football field. The boys are working hard, and then hopefully we'll be ready when the season comes around.
Absolutely. Well, too, we talked about it. We knew last year you would still be competitive, but we knew there would be some building steps that would have to come because of just that group you had 2 years ago that you won a conference championship with. You just don't replace that caliber of talent. So you knew last year, and the pandemic played a role too, because you really didn't know from night to night who exactly you were going to have at your disposal and how you had to use them. So you had some young pups, so to speak, to the varsity level. But all in all, you were still competitive, and there was a few games that really, I think, if you wouldn't have had some of your youth that you had, you might would have turned the game around the other way.
Well, I think so. I mean, we got to play conference games only last year, and it took us at least halfway through the season to make some adjustments, only simply because we had so many new pieces.
Yeah.
The team that we had last year, they had never played together in any year coming up. Just there was so many new pieces. This year, we got a few, people coming back. We got really 4 or 5 people coming back or whatever that's had some playing time, and we're excited about it. It's one of these things right now. You're still kind of the great unknown because we are still limited in what we can do.
Yeah.
And with that numbers-wise, like I said, I got several playing football. We're just excited to get back in the gym, get some kind of sense of normalcy, and just to get to playing basketball again. And it's a great unknown. The kids are working hard, and hopefully it's going to pay off.
Well, Coach, as you know, this new conference, the Foothills 2A Conference, you carry over some old foes by the likes of North Wilkes and Wilkes Central, who you know very well being in-county rivals. You get an old conference rival from back in the day in Forbush back into the fold and the program they have down there. Then you mix that with East Surrey, North Surrey, and Surrey Central. We talked about how the old Mountain Valley the last couple years in basketball was competitive night in and night out. I think this Foothills 2A Conference kind of takes it to another level.
Most definitely. The teams that you mentioned there, the new ones that are coming in, they've all got good players.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, some of them's got some already college commitments. We just got to play. Again, we like what we have, or we're just going to work hard. We're going to get out there and we're going to play. It's going to be an extremely competitive conference. It's going to be very difficult to win on the road.
Yeah.
Because we're facing some teams that went deep in playoffs before and deep in their conference. They're used to playing big-time competition. I'm excited for the challenge. It is definitely going to be a challenge because this is going to be definitely a big-time bump up in competition, night in, night out. But we're playing a really tough non-conference schedule to hope we'll try to get us ready for that.
Absolutely.
We're playing the likes of 4A Davie County, 3A Alexander Central, now 3A Ashe County.
Yeah.
To try to get ready for that. We're just trying to get better. I mean, that's the bottom line. We're trying to get better. The boys are working, and they're hungry. They don't miss any day workouts. They get there early and they want to stay late. Again, we're excited. It's going to be tough to go, but it's going to be tough all the way through. And every high school sport in this new league is tough. I give a shout out to my wife's team, the girls' side. She's got a really good team. But again, the girls' league is just going to be just as tough. But, I mean, I like what our girls' program has as well because they're going to be pretty good.
Absolutely right. And, Coach, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to come up and talk to us here this evening. We can't wait for basketball season. Millers Creek, always a great place to be when basketball season rolls around, when you got a packed gym to cheer on Blackhawk basketball. Thank you so much. We look forward to talking to you when basketball season rolls around and we start doing full season previews here in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Awesome.
And that's Coach Scotty Green talking with us here tonight. Wilkes Communications halftime show rolls on. West Wilkes leading North Wilkes 15-7.
Wilkes Communications is North Carolina's premier high-speed internet provider. With a reliable fiber-to-the-home network, work, learn, and play without worrying about frustrating slowdowns or waiting for your videos to buffer. Get your local connection to faster internet for your home or business today, all from a hometown company you can trust. Learn more at wilkes.net or give us a call at 336-973-3103.
For the second week in a row, Coach Wotecki is going to have to piece together a possible second half comeback. But let's see how these two ball clubs are able to roll with it here tonight as we get set for our second half, as West Wilkes is going to boot it away to North Wilkes here. 12 minutes have been put up on the third quarter clock. We appreciate you listening to high school football tonight here on 3WC. Aikman Chambers, Keith Bryan with you here on the broadcast tonight. It's been a good night. Last score update we had was South Stokes 7, East Wilkes 0. I do not know if that score has been updated. We're going to be in the process of getting some updates on that. It is 7-7 at this time. The last update now reported is a 7-7 ball game between those two schools. We're also working to get some other scores for you as well, such as the Elkin Surrey Central score. It has not been updated and posted at this time. Keith, as I was informing the listeners on our Randy Marion of Wilkesboro scoreboard, East Wilkes South Stokes tied up at 7-7. Seems like a pretty low-scoring defensive slugfest over in Ronda tonight.
Well, definitely, and I tell you what, Coach Diamond, one of the fine. I've never had a chance to meet him personally, but I think his reputation precedes itself.
Absolutely.
He's one of the finer coaches in this area. So
here
let's
we go.
see if North Wilkes can do anything on this kickoff.
Walker Brondos with the ball teed up on the 40-yard line. Let's see if they kick it to Corpening. They do not. Ball's going to be fielded far side. Can't get up. Drew Winkler on the return. He's up to the 30. Winkler still on his feet across the 30 to about the 33-yard line, and that's where North Wilkes will start this second half. First down and 10. Keith, this is a big, big spot for both teams because North Wilkes needs points to try to get close to evening this game back up, and West Wilkes is trying to keep their heads above water here.
Well, I had a chance to talk to some of the West Wilkes faithful up here during that time, and I tell you, they've gone back to the West Wilkes teams of old.
Yes.
15,
split backfield.
Ago.
It's going to be a handoff around the left side. That is number 5, Caden Bogus.
That's the one thing you and me had talked about before Coach Green came on, was the fact that North Wilkes in that Ashe County game, they tried to throw the ball, I thought, 2 minutes the first half. They went back to that effective running game, and now you look at it, 5 yards in a cloud of dust, if you will.
Snap comes. It's a quarterback keeper with White, and he's got running room and an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down to the 45-yard line. So 2 quick offensive plays and a move the chains for the North Wilkes offense just underway here in this second half. 11-13 and ticking. West Wilkes leading North Wilkes 15-7, but it's first down and 10 North Wilkes. Ball is on their own 45-yard line. Going to have 2 receivers to the bottom left side of the field, split backfield, solo receiver top right. Snap comes. It's going to be Corpening. He's got a little shake and bake room. Corpening getting the sideline. Corpening on his feet all the way down to the 35-yard line in Blackhawk territory, and that's going to be another Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down.
Brought down by Jet McNeil.
Man.
And that's what we talked about, was if North Wilkes would just go back to the running game, they kind of went away from that first half. And,
absolutely they did. So now it's going to be first down and 10 for North Wilkes. Ball at the West Wilkes 35-yard line. Wyatt takes the snap. Handoff, Caden Bogus. Bogus initially runs into some defenders, but then falls forward for about a 3-yard gain.
Elijah Ramirez, number 66, on the tackle. Gain of about 2, maybe 3. Will bring up second down.
So going to be second down. Call it about 7 here for North Wilkes, just shy of the West Wilkes 30-yard line. Snap comes. It's going to be a quarterback keeper for Wyatt, and Wyatt's down to the 25-yard line.
Looks like it's almost enough for another first down.
That should move the chains for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down, and now it's just what the doctor ordered for the North Wilkes offense here in the second half.
It amazes me how these coaches try to go away from their strengths.
Yeah.
West Wilkes came out and a great job going to their strength.
West Wilkes is back in a 4-3 defense, too. Handoff to Corpening. Corpening trying to get there, and he won't get there. Ball comes out, and the Blackhawks are trying to pick it up, and it goes out of bounds. Instead of just falling on the football, West Wilkes tried to pick it up for a scoop and a run back.
So
I know somebody wants to try to make the big play, but just fall on the football. If you're a defensive coach for West Wilkes, man, that would have been a big momentum swing early in this second half.
Well, they're actually giving him forward progress on that. That's kind of amazing. I thought they would have got the ball where the ball rolled out of bounds.
Second down and 9.
On the play will make it 2nd and 9.
Split backfield.
A gratuitous spot right there.
2 receivers to the bottom left side. Wyatt's going to keep it right side, quarterback draw. And Keith, I believe it's coming back with a hold. Great job by the West Wilkes defense led by Travis Walsh. And let's see, I believe it's going to be a hold on North Wilkes, Keith. As we await the call on the field from the white hat.
Call appears to be against the Vikings.
Yeah, it's a hold.
Holding.
And again, Keith, the penalty bug biting North Wilkes right when they start to move the football.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that it's amazing to me that we're this far into the season and continually seeing holds almost on a.
So now it's 2nd down and 20 for North Wilkes.
32-yard line, and we'll bring up a 2nd and long, 2nd and about 14.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2nd down and 15. I apologize. I forgot they were already past the chain marker. So 2nd and long is White's back to pass. He's looking. He steps up and it's dropped. He hit Reese Cleary right in the hands. And Keith, you know that's one that Reese Cleary wants back.
You see what you got to do with that. You got to bring the ball into your body.
He was worried about turning it up the field and running before he looked the football in.
You know, you look the ball in, you look it into your belly. I mean, he tried to catch that right on his hands. And you got to bring that ball into your waist on that. I mean.
So now it's 3rd down and 15. 9:09 to go, 3rd quarter.
You got to believe this is 4 down
Absolutely.
territory right here.
15-7 Blackhawks with the lead. Wyatt in the pistol, 2 receivers to both sides, ball on the far hash. Snap comes to Wyatt. He's looking. He's got a man wide open, and it's going to be caught for a Viking touchdown. It's Drew Winkler, and that is a 32-yard touchdown strike from quarterback Zach Wyatt to Drew Winkler, and North Wilkes is a 2-point conversion away from tying this football game. So with that, great job by Drew Winkler to split the back end of that Blackhawk defense. So they're going to try to tie this football game up at 2 apiece.
Let's go, Blackhawk fans. Big play here. Let's hear it.
Let's see what Wyatt does with it. He's got 2 receivers to the top right side, solo receiver bottom left, and a split backfield 2-point conversion attempt here. Snap comes. It's a quarterback option. Late pitch to Corpening, and Corpening's in. The 2-point conversion is good. And with 9:01 to go in this 3rd quarter, it's now Blackhawks 15, Vikings 15. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back to Millers Creek, high top window World Field. We set tonight, 9 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. It's North Wilkes 15, West Wilkes 15 after North Wilkes put together a scoring drive on the opening possession of the 2nd half. And Keith, a back and forth game. Anytime you get these 2 in-county rivals together, this was one of the games of the year in the spring.
Yeah,
we saw West Wilkes come from behind and beat North Wilkes in Hayes in the spring. Snap, or I should say Pannington boots it away. Luke Tharp going to field it at about the 12. Tharp up to the 20. He hesitates 25, trying to get the sideline, and he won't get there as he's to about the 27, 28-yard line. And that is where the Blackhawks will start 1st down and 10. And still, Keith, you go back to that Braden Woody fumble there midway through the 2nd quarter where West Wilkes was inside of the North Wilkes 25-yard line. Fumbled the football, and that kept the game within a 1-score reach. Because if it wasn't for that, the way that drive was going, West Wilkes had 6 on their mind, and they still could be a score up right now. But that's a long time ago in the past. It's a new ball game, and you got to play with the cards you're dealt.
Well, let's see if West can counterpunch on this thing.
Single back offense. Scott Green goes in motion from right to left as the sniffer. Snap comes. It's a toss out to Braden Woody. Woody trying to get that left side, and Braden Woody's up across the 30 to about the 33-yard line, as that's going to be a good gain that time of about 4 yards to bring up second down and 6. Still no sign of Holt Hanchy, Keith.
He's not even on the sidelines.
Yes, he is. Number 40, he's in street clothes.
Yeah,
That's not a good sign. You got to believe Holt Hanchy's night is now done, so it's going to fall on Braden Woody and Mason Billings to carry the load for West Wilkes here in this second half. Keith, losing Holt Hanchy, that is just an absolute gut wrench if you're West Wilkes.
He really started off the game.
Hand off Braden Woody. He's trying to find some running room, and Woody's up across the 35 for about a 3-yard gain to bring up about a third down and call it 3-4.
And, you don't want to say anything, but Hanchy hit the hole so much quicker than the backs that are in there right there. And, I mean, he just hit that hole so quick. He was into the second level. But, the guys you got now, they're a little bit more meticulous,
Absolutely. Clock is ticking. It's 3rd down and 3. Ball for the Blackhawks is at their own 35-yard line. 7:37 and ticking, third quarter clock. Single back set as Wayne goes under center. It's going to be a straight handoff, and it's Braden Woody trying to fall forward, and he should have enough for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down, and he does. It's a steady dive to Braden Woody left, Braden Woody right, and here comes Moose Billings to spell him. Keith, instead of thunder and lightning now, I think it's thunder and thunder between Braden Woody and Mason Billings.
That was a great run by Woody. That's just a lot of fortitude on that run right there. Looked like they had stopped him for no gain. And
reminds me of the likes of Tyler Woods and some of these big, thick running backs West Wilkes has had in the past. Snap comes. It's a handoff to Mason Billings. Billings trying to get some running room through the teeth of that defense, and he's going to get from the 40 to about the 43, 44-yard line for a gain of about 4 to set up second down and 6. Keith, if you could pick up 4 yards a carry, rotating your backs, what more do you want?
Yeah, I mean, this is great. Just keep – if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And 6.
Yeah, I'll take a 4-yard gain all day long. Yeah, I'll score on a 4-yard gain all day long.
Second down and 6 for the Blackhawks. Ball is at their own 44-yard line. We're closing in 6.5 minutes to go third quarter in a 15-15 ball game. 2 receivers go to the bottom right side of the field. Ball on the far hash. Blitz ensues. Wayne's going to roll out on a quarterback bootleg. He's trying to get the edge, and he will be stopped in his tracks by Drew Winkler.
About a 2-yard gain.
And we've got a Blackhawk lineman slow to get up. That is number 66, Elijah Ramirez. That's a very tough young man. Young man is an anchor for that JV offensive and defensive line who played a full 4 quarters last night. He's being 8-quartered tonight.
Yeah, it looked like his left ankle.
So now it's going to be 3rd down and 4. Blackhawks have it at their own 46-yard line. Clock is still ticking. It would be big for West Wilkes here, Keith, if they can pick up 4 more yards to the 50 and move the chain. Mason Billings is going to be the tailback. 2 receivers to the short side of the field as the ball's on the near hash. Snap comes. It's a handoff. Billings breaks through the initial wave, but will not get through as he's going to get about a 2-yard gain. And now it's decision time if you're Phil Collins.
Yeah, he's going to punt the ball.
Flip field position. I tell you, Keith, it looked like that Billings was going to be stopped for about a 2 or 3 yard loss, but what he did, he put his head down and ducked the tacklers and fell forward and turned what about was a 3-yard loss into a 2-yard gain.
And now let's see if, a great job by the Viking defense to hold them. So let's see if the Vikings can come out with something good right here.
Drew Winkler back to receive the punt. It's a fake as Shane Gregg has it trying to get the outside edge, and he falls down.
Boy, I tell you what,
the gamble does not pay off. Keith, I don't know that Gregg is he's already hurt. I don't know if he's the guy I try to call the fake sweep with him already on a bad leg. He came into this game already hurt. He was not 100%. We saw him go down earlier. I don't know that was the smartest play call on the field.
Well, the thing about it is now you've given North Wilkes a little momentum.
Oh, you've given North Wilkes a ton of momentum.
So let's see if they can take advantage of this.
And now it's 1st down and 10 Vikings. Ball is at The West Wilkes 42, 43-yard line. Wyatt with two receivers to both sides. Wyatt is going to be bottled up at the 40 after about a 2-yard gain. Great job by Elijah Ramirez. And Keith, that's a freshman coming through there to make the play.
Yeah.
Young man's got a bright future in the black and orange with 3 more years to go.
Well, they actually almost give him a 3-yard gain.
Yeah. 3 yards there. Second down and 7. Ball is officially on the upper side of the 40-yard line in Blackhawk territory. 4:17 and ticking third quarter clock. 2-by-2 set in the pistol for North Wilkes. Wyatt takes a snap. It's a handoff. Corpening, and Corpening's got running room. Corpening still on his feet across the 20, or I should say across the 30 to about the 29-yard line before finally being brought down.
And you know, you see a lot when you see Hanchy and you see Corpening. You see how fast they hit that hole.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're into the second level in just a heartbeat. Seems
Absolutely,
like.
They are. That's going to move the chains for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. 1st and 10, North Wilkes at the West Wilkes 29-yard line. Pistol formation, 2-by-2 receiver set. Ball middle of the field. It's a bad snap. Corpening gets it and just falls forward.
I tell you what, you know, that when you go back in and you look at that play right there, you're going to say, well, it was only a 2-yard gain. But that right there was an effective 2-yard gain.
Absolutely.
Because that could have been a 5-yard loss.
Absolutely. So it's going to be second down. Call it a long 8, short 9 here. Ball's in between the 25 and the 30-yard line. Again, we don't have individual yard line markers here at West Wilkes, so we're guest spotting in between the 5-yard lines. Snap comes to Wyatt, 2 receivers to both sides. It's a quick pass, wide open man is Pennington to the 20. He's still on his feet, 15 before Logan Wayne drives him out of bounds at about the 12-yard line, and that'll move the chains for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down, and North Wilkes setting up shop inside of the G&B Energy red zone. And Keith, the Vikings are knocking on the door for 6.
Yeah, they definitely are. And, you know, you got to wonder now, we talked about momentum, and that fake kick right there, if North Wilkes scores, let's see if
West Wilkes
responds. That's a big thing.
3:07 to go, third quarter. The West Wilkes defense trying to dig in deep here while North Wilkes is trying to grab the lead here for the first time tonight. 2 split backfield, going to be a handoff right side to Corpening. He cuts it up, and guess what? DeAndre Corpening is going to be tackled 2 yards, maybe 3 yards short of the end zone. I nearly thought he was going to have the edge. They're actually going to mark him back at the 4-yard line.
And, you know, they can get a first down.
Yeah, all they got to do, it's 2nd and 1. They get to the 3-yard line, and it's a first down. So great spot to be in if you're North Wilkes. Keith, I don't change anything here. I go right back to Corpening.
I mean, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And, you know, they've effectively went to the running game, and I think that has really been the big difference for the Vikings.
Snap comes. It's a handoff to Bogus, and he won't get there, but he's got the first down to about the 1-yard line. So that'll set up first down and goal.
Just inside the 1.
So clock is ticking at 2:52 and rolling third quarter in a 15-15 tie ball game here. But North Wilkes is a yard away from 6 more points in their first lead of the night.
And this third period has been all North Wilkes.
Absolutely it has. Split backfield. Snap comes. And wide, it looks to be a bad play call, but nonetheless it works out well. And North Wilkes, Zach Wyatt, a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have a 21-15 lead. And let's see if they go for the PAT or if they go for 2. As the Blackhawk defense was giving up yards at will that time on that series. Now Pennington's going to go for the PAT. Zach Wyatt to hold. The snap is down. The kick is up.
It's good.
And it is good. So 2:34 to go, third quarter. It is North Wilkes 22, West Wilkes 15. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back here to West Wilkes High School. 2:34 to go, third quarter. North Wilkes has their first lead of the night at 22-15. And Keith, West Wilkes now all of a sudden has seen the tide turn, and we got to see how their mindset stays. This has been a rough spot for West Wilkes. Tharp is going to field the kick at the 10. He's up to the 20, and Tharp nowhere to go as he's brought down hard by number 15, Alex Ball. And West Wilkes is going to have it first down and 10. at their own, let's see where they're going to officially mark him, about the 23-yard line. So West Wilkes is going to have to come from behind now after they've had the lead all night up to this point. And Keith, we very well may be going back to that fake punt attempt here on that last offensive drive as the difference maker in this ball game.
Well, we'll find out here on this possession by the Blackhawks. I mean, this is where you find out if that fortitude.
The rubber meets the road right here.
If that fortitude that we've been talking about all game.
Braden Woody, the tailback, Wayne under center. It's going to be a reverse to Luke Tharp. Luke Tharp going back the other way. He's across the 30 to the 40-yard line. Now trying to reverse field. Still on his feet, 45, 50. Luke Tharp, 45 to the 40. Finally brought down into Viking territory at the Viking 35-yard line. What a play call from Coach Phil Collins. Luke, I don't think anybody saw the reverse coming, Keith.
No, and I mean, you got to mix things up. I mean,
you're 0-3. You have nothing to lose.
And you know they kept pounding between the tackles. In the last two possessions, North Wilkes has pretty well bottled them up.
Absolutely, a big gain that time for West Wilkes, all the way down to the North Wilkes 35-yard line. And Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. Wayne goes under center. Two receivers to the bottom right side of the formation is Greg and Absher. It's a handoff to Braden Woody. Braden Woody is up to about the 30-yard line. They're going to mark him short at the 31 for a gain of 4.
And, you know, it almost appears from my vantage point that North Wilkes knows what the snap count is.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they're getting right there, sending the linebackers right through.
Keith, if you remember in the spring, how many times did Cody Shoemate blitz A-gap and just wreak havoc? But it just took to the end of the game for West Wilkes to figure it out. We talked about it so much back in April when we did this game in the spring. 2nd down and 6 for the Blackhawks. Ball at the North Wilkes 31-yard line. Snap comes. Handoff. Braden Woody. He breaks one tackle, but will not get away from tacklers 2 and 3, and he's going to actually lose a couple of yards.
Yeah, he was met by Gavin Shue.
So it's going to be 3rd down and call it 7, maybe 8. Ball is about the 33-yard line.
And you got to believe if you're West Wilkes, this is 4-down territory.
Oh, absolutely. As this third quarter clock winds down, closing in on a minute to go here in this third quarter. Let's see what the Blackhawks are able to do with it here as West Wilkes now trails North Wilkes 22-15.
And you know, to me, you got a 3rd and about 7. I mean, I'm running the ball. If you get 4 yards this time, you're going to be in about a 4th and 3 situation.
Spread formation.
So many things.
Single back in the backfield with 2 receivers. It's an option play as Wayne's going to pitch it late to Woody. He's got the 30, the 25, down on his feet, and that was going to move the chains for a Blackhawk. Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down to the North Wilkes 20-yard line. Keith, they went to their spread personnel package, ran speed option around the right outside. What do you think of the play call?
Well, they showed North Wilkes something they hadn't seen all game. And any time that you know what you're doing, the defense don't. They never made an adjustment to that. And so that was a great play call by Coach Collett. But I don't think that's something you want to go to on a permanent basis.
Well, they're going back to it here on this Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down inside the G&B Energy red zone at the North Wilkes 23-yard line. Single back shotgun set. Wayne loses the football. And Wayne's going to actually lose yards back near the 35.
That's why you don't want to do that. I mean, you can't go back to that same thing. We saw this earlier. I mean, when they go into this spread offense like this.
They're not built for it.
I mean, how many times have we seen bad snaps cause you a lot of problems? Man, you go back to what, like I said, I hate to keep belaboring it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's it. That's exactly right. So this third quarter is going to come to a close with our score, North Wilkes 22, West Wilkes 15. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back to West Wilkes High School here tonight atop Window World Field as we start this 4th and final period tonight. 12 minutes is up on the clock The Blackhawks trying to play for their first win of the season. North Wilkes trying to get to 2-3 and just the third career win for Coach Dave Wotecki as a North Wilkes Viking head coach. And Keith, I feel like they went to the well one too many times in that spread formation. And here they come again on second down and long. Here back in the single back spread. And North Wilkes just gifted them 5 free yards, I believe. Yes. But that's going to make this second down a little bit more manageable. But still, your single back pro formation has worked well all night long. You're averaging about 4 yards a carry.
Well, see, the other thing is your linemen are a lot more effective.
Oh, they changed the call.
Their linemen are much more effective because at this point in time, I mean, they've got to stand up. Okay, they can't just fire out because they got to wait.
Yeah.
Before they were just firing off the ball, and I mean that's much more effective with the line that you have here up West Wilkes. I think it's just get them down there.
That's it. So now the ball is at the 36-yard line of North Wilkes. The line marker to gain is about the 22-yard line. So you're looking at a 2nd and 24. Snap comes in the shotgun to Logan Wayne. Wayne looking. He's going deep to Shane Gregg, and he overthrew him. It was nearly intercepted.
Yeah, he threw that in a double coverage. And
see, this isn't West Wilkes football. This is not what's kept them in this game tonight. And going away from their bread and butter, just because you're down a score, you don't need to overreact to the fact that you're just down a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. You're very much in this ball game.
You got 11:52 to go. It's not like it's the end of the world and you got 40 seconds left in the ball game.
Absolutely.
I don't understand why you don't go back to what you were effective at, because like I said, the offensive line that you guys got up here, they're built for that what they were doing. That pro style offense.
Here we go. 2 receivers, ball on the far hash, shotgun formation with Wayne, Woody the tailback. They're going to bring Luke Tharp in motion. Wayne back to pass. He's looking. He pumps. He's going deep. He's got a man down the sideline, and he can't look it in. He was going for Braden Woody on the sideline, and now it's 4th and 25. And
I mean,
you hate to say this, Keith, but do you feel like the wheels are falling off the wagon a little bit?
Well, the wheels shouldn't have never got to the point where they were falling off. I mean, I'm not the coach. Okay, I'm not the coach, so I can't explain what the coach's philosophy is. But I'm of the old school variety that
you ride your horse that brought you to the
effectively.
dance.
We were doing a great job, and then when we went to this spread, we basically all momentum just was shot.
Snap comes to Brondos on the punt. It's going to bounce. And this is going to pin North Wilkes deep at about their own 4-yard line. That was the smart play right there. And a late flag, and I think that's going to be against Caden Bogus, I believe. A little bit of extracurricular activity with Shane Gregg. Let's see. I mean, the only place they can move them back to is about the 1 or the 2-yard line.
Well, see, the other thing is you've seen both teams flip-flop.
Yeah.
You've seen a North team at the start wanting to throw the ball the whole time. All right, you've seen a West team, ball control, ground and pound. Now you've got a North Wilkes team, ball control, pound and ground, and now you got a West Wilkes team. And see, if North Wilkes gets about another 8-minute drive, that's really going to put West Wilkes behind the 8 ball.
And now you're staring. North Wilkes has got offsetting. But North Wilkes has it 1st down and 10 at their own 4-yard. They've got the ball officially marked on their own 4-yard line. Pistol formation here with 2 receivers to both sides. Ball is on the far hash. Keith, a 96-yard touchdown drive here for North Wilkes may just put this game away anyway. Snap comes to Wyatt. It's a handoff to Corpening, and he's bottled up. Good contained by the West Wilkes defense. Well, you got one side judge standing back above the 5.
There's no gain.
Okay. I was going to say side judges were standing polar opposite lines of each other, so no gain for 2nd down and 10.
2nd and 10.
Clock is ticking at 11 minutes, 11 seconds in this 4th quarter. North Wilkes leads West Wilkes 22-15. The West Wilkes defense trying to hold to give our offense another chance. 2 receivers to the bottom right side, split backfield. It's going to be Corpening again, and he's bottled up. Is that a safety? It's got to be a safety. It is, and that could be big. 2 points on the board, and the deficit now is cut to 22-17, and Corpening is hurt. Corpening is hurt. I tell you what,
Number 66,
Elijah Ramirez, Keith, the freshman, blowing Corpening up in the backfield, and Corpening is hurt. What a turn of events here at the 10:49 mark of this fourth quarter. Elijah Ramirez making himself known as a freshman here tonight. What a turn now. You set with a 22-17 ball game now. Now all of a sudden, you don't necessarily have to score a touchdown and go for 2 now, Keith. It's Corpening down in the end zone.
Yeah, it looks like it's a cramp.
As we await to see. I'll tell you what, Keith, I don't think any of us expected a freshman 8-quarter lineman to be one to make an impact, but really he's been a consistent piece on the defensive line for West Wilkes tonight.
Yeah, it definitely has. And
we hope Corpening's okay. That would be a big loss for North Wilkes, Keith.
Yeah. It appears from what I've been looking at, it looks like it's a cramp.
As he is still down in the end zone. While he is down at this time, let's pause 30 seconds. We'll be back with more after this. 22-17, North Wilkes leads West Wilkes. And welcome back to West Wilkes High School, and Keith Corpening limping off on one leg. He's not letting that left leg touch the ground at all. That left ankle, I should say. So that's going to be something to monitor. West Wilkes has already lost Holt Hanchy tonight. That would really hurt if both teams lost their 2 key running backs in this ball game, Keith.
Yeah, and it like I said,
North Wilkes going to have to attempt a free kick to West Wilkes now. And Keith, we may go back to say that a safety could be a big point in this ball game here, but if you're West Wilkes, you have got to score on this possession.
Well, you know, West Wilkes had to do something to get momentum back. I mean, you could tell that after that fake punt, that you could just almost
went out the door.
It kind of went down right there, but they needed to do something to get back in this game. And
in the form of a freshman, Elijah Ramirez, who's had a good night tonight.
But if I'm West Wilkes, I'm going back to that pro set. I mean,
the free kick by Pennington is away, going to be fielded by Tharp back at the 30. He's up to the 35 to the 40. Tharp to the 45 to the 50, and that's where he'll be brought down at the 50-yard line. So that's where the Blackhawks will take over 1st and 10 at midfield. 10:42 to go in this ball game, and the Blackhawks trail 22-17. So let's see if they trot them back in the pro set. Let's see what they do. West Wilkes in the huddle here. Got to have points on this drive if you're the Blackhawks. And they're back in the spread. I don't know that I agree with this. There's still a lot of time left. Logan Wayne takes the snap. It's a quarterback draw, and Wayne's going to get nothing. Probably loses a yard back to their own 49. I just don't get it.
Well, you know, the other thing you got to realize is, okay, your offensive line has, if you're going to take the ball 7 yards off the line of scrimmage, they got to hold their block that much longer.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, and the other formation that they had, all they got to do is just hit real
quick. Fire off the ball, and you're there.
I mean, you can't. These linemen cannot sit and hold blocks for 3 or 4 counts.
This scheme is not built. The pro-style single-back scheme they've been in for over half of this game is what this line is built for. The spread is not it. Single-back shotgun set. Luke Tharp comes in motion. Snap comes. It's a false start. Guess what? They're going to back them up 5 more yards. This thing is falling apart at the seams. If you're North Wilkes, you got to be absolute. You're sitting over there as Coach Wotecki and Coach Gregory. You're just absolutely licking your chops because they're playing right into your hands.
I mean, When I was a coach, I'd always hope somebody would do. I was always on the
Oh,
other side.
hey, absolutely. Into the third quarter, it's Surrey Central 21, Elkin 14 on our Randy Marion of Wilkesboro scoreboard. So it's second down and long. Second down and 15 here. Ball for the Blackhawks at their own 45-yard line. Spread formation, and guess what?
Another flag, pre-snap flag.
It's against West Wilkes.
Unbelievable. I mean, you're not built. How much does it have to roll downhill before you go back what brought you to the dance?
You know, for our listeners' sake, I don't want to keep belaboring the same thing, but you know, it is what it is, and even the coaches up here are saying the same thing we're saying. So you got to wonder.
Second down and 20 now.
What brought this about?
I don't know. Second and 20. Ball now for West Wilkes at their own 40-yard line. Snap comes to Wayne. It's a quarterback option, and Wayne's not going to have anywhere to go. He's across the 40 to about the 42-yard line, and that's going to bring up third down and 18. I just don't get it. I mean, Elijah Ramirez gifted you a little bit of momentum with the safety. You got the ball at midfield with over 10 minutes to go in the game. All you had to do was turn around and hand the ball to Braden Woody or Mason Billings and grind. You're averaging 4 yards a carry.
Well, not only that, you're taking away a lot of time off the clock. So
exactly, because still with only 50 yards of workroom, you still probably could have used up 5 minutes of clock time if you wanted to.
You know, you're in an obvious passing situation right now.
Just drop your guys back in coverage if you're North Wilkes. Only send 4 or 5. Shotgun formation, ball middle of the field. 2 receivers to the top right side for West Wilkes. Snap comes. Here comes the blitzing man. Wayne steps up. Wayne's going to throw. He's got Luke Tharp, and it's intercepted. It's going to be pass interference. It's going to be pass interference. PI, it's coming back. It's going to be pass interference on North Wilkes. And Wayne is going to get away with a gift because he overthrew Luke Tharp. And it just so happened that number 44, Isaiah Rutherford, reached out and grabbed Luke Tharp by the shoulder pads. That's going to be pass interference, and that interception's coming back.
Deep in the secondary on the play there.
Would this not be automatic first down? Correct me if I'm wrong.
It should be.
Now you have a chance to go back to something here. So the pass interference call negates the interception.
Pass interference call is going to go against the
Look, now you're getting the ball in better position than you had it to start the drive at the North Wilkes 44-yard line. This is the prime spot to go.
No, they're saying it's third down still.
And let's call it 4.
I thought it was automatic.
That's kind of, well, I know it is in the pros, but high school is just 15.
Well, now it's third down and 4.
Yeah.
Keith, you know what I'm doing here? I'm giving it to Braden Woody or Mason Billings.
Yeah, but I'm going under center.
Exactly. Go back to your pro-style offense. Let's see. They're going to stay in the shotgun. Here we go. Single back shotgun set. 2 receivers to the bottom left side of the formation. That's the wide side. Blitz comes by North Wilkes as Wayne steps up in the pocket. Going to dump it off to Luke Tharp. And Tharp's got the first down across the North Wilkes 40 to the 39-yard line. And that's going to move the chains for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. And Keith, what a drive saver that pass interference ends up being.
Yeah, that right there was kept this drive alive for the Blackhawks. And we've seen that a couple times tonight. They've kind of fell into something, I guess, if you will. But
so first down and 10 for the Blackhawks. Ball at the North Wilkes 38-yard line with 7.5 minutes to play. West Wilkes trailing 22-17, and they're staying in the spread offense here. 2 receivers to the bottom left side. Ball is on the far hash. It's going to be a quarterback keeper for Logan Wayne. He's across the 35 to the 34-yard line. It's going to be about a 5-yard gain to bring up second down and 5.
Well, the snaps have to be good in a situation like that. You cannot have, the one thing about being under center, the snap's a whole lot more effective. Right
Absolutely.
There. And, we've already seen a couple of bad snaps already by the Blackhawks.
Less than 7 minutes to go here. Second down and 4 for the Blackhawks. Ball at the North Wilkes 33-yard line. West Wilkes trailing North Wilkes 22-17. Two wide receivers to the bottom left side, solo receiver top right, single back shotgun. It's a handoff to Braden Woody, and Woody's across the 30, down near the 25 for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. And Keith, that was just good second effort running by Braden Woody.
Yeah, once again, I mean, they actually looked like they had him stopped for basically no gain, but he just pulled a couple of Vikings along with him.
So I'm going to move the chains again. 1st and 10 Blackhawks. They're on the doorstep of the GMB Energy red zone here. They're at the North Wilkes 26-yard line. Under 6.5 minutes to play. West Wilkes trailing 22-17. Ball on the far hash. Single back shotgun set. Two receivers short side. Solo receiver bottom left. And I believe there's a timeout on the field. Timeout North Wilkes as Coach Wotecki calls it. Our score, 6:11 to go, fourth quarter. This timeout brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales. It's North Wilkes 22, West Wilkes 17. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back to West Wilkes High School. 6:11 to go, fourth quarter. 23-17 is our score in favor of the North Wilkes Vikings here tonight. You got to have a touchdown if you are West Wilkes on this drive. 23-17. It's a 6-point game. The question becomes, Keith, if you score, do you go for two or do you kick the point after? That's going to become the question, but you got to get there. It's 1st and 10, though, at the North Wilkes 26.
Now, I'm looking at the offensive formation. Have they went back to the old
single back? They have. Wayne now goes under center. Braden Woody, the tailback. Scott Green, the sniffer. Turnaround, handoff, Braden Woody. Braden Woody through the teeth of the North Wilkes defense inside the 20 to the North Wilkes 18-yard line. That is an 8-yard pickup for Braden Woody.
Hey,
guess what, old faithful? I'm back, and it comes to fruition for the Blackhawks. It's kind of like that girlfriend you broke up with that you regretted breaking up with, and long ago, you come back to her somewhere down the line when you're meant to be.
Maybe they heard us up here. But
5.5 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Wayne under center again. Snap comes. Handoff Braden Woody. Woody's got room. Woody to the 10. Woody still on his feet down near the 5-yard line to the 6. And that'll move the chains for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. Braden Woody like he's being shot out of a cannon. And the Blackhawks are on the doorstep for 6.
Well,
Keith, you got to have points now if you're West Wilkes.
If I'm the offensive coordinator, the only thing I'm saying is, why in the world were we doing this to start with?
Wasn't it Buck Owens that had a song called Together Again? First and goal for the Blackhawks. Ball at the North Wilkes 6-yard line. 5 minutes to go. They trail 23-17. Snap comes. Handoff. Braden Woody. Woody to the wall. He trucks a man for a Blackhawk touchdown. Braden Woody says, I'm back. And the Blackhawks have the lead once again. It's now 23. Well, now the scoreboard's back to 22 for North Wilkes. So I was right. I thought I had seen things, so it's 23-22 West Wilkes. I was right all along when it should have been 22. I thought I was, then I saw they had changed it. But 23-22, and now the Blackhawks are a 2-point conversion away from making this a 3-point ball game with 4:51 to go. Logan Wayne under center. Snap comes. It's a quarterback keeper, and Logan Wayne is going to walk in for a 2-point conversion, 25-22. And with 4:51 to play, Keith Bride, we are seeing the mental toughness this team showed in the spring for the first time all season long. We're back in 30 seconds on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back to Millers Creek here tonight. And with 4:51 to go in this football game, it's now West Wilkes 25, North Wilkes 22. And Keith Bryan, we got ourselves a different football game now. The ball's back into the court of Coach Dave Wotecki in this North Wilkes offense.
Well, I tell you what, yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of things happening in that quarter I don't quite understand. But I'm awful glad if you're a Blackhawk fan, you went back to that tried and true method.
That's exactly right. So you got Corpening and Drew Winkler back to receive the kick.
it's good to see DeAndre back.
Absolutely it is. Brondos with the ball teed up on the 40-yard line. He runs up, and he boots it away. It's going to be fielded by Corpening on the run to the 20, 25 to the 30. Corpening trying to get the sideline, and he's going to be brought down back at the 30-yard line. Actually going to give him forward progress to about the 31. And with 4:42 to go in the ball game, now we're going to see what North Wilkes goes to here as they trail by 3 points.
Well, you know, if you're North Wilkes right now, Coach Wotecki, you got plenty of time. You don't need to get it all in one play. Just take your time, get that 4 or 5 yards. Let's see if they continue with this ground attack.
So here we go. First down and 10, North Wilkes. Ball is at their own 31-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield, ball on the far hash. 2 receivers bottom wide side of the field. It's a handoff to Bogus, and Bogus is across the 35 to the 36-yard line for a gain that time of about 5 yards, maybe even 6 yards. 2nd and 4, and guess who on the stop? Elijah Ramirez. Clock is ticking down to 4:20. 25-22, West Wilkes with the lead. Wyatt, 2 backs in the backfield. He takes the snap. It's a handoff. Corpening, and Corpening's going to be bottled up by the Blackhawk defense. Led in that time by Russell Patrick and a whole gang of black shirts.
They actually gave him a yard, so.
Big 3rd down here, Keith. If you're North Wilkes and you don't get it, is it 4th down territory?
Well, I'll tell you one thing right now. They're keying on Corpening right now. I'd do an RPO and let Zach Wyatt.
I agree. Here we go. 3rd down, call it 3. Ball for North Wilkes is at their own 38-yard line as we close in 3:37 and ticking 4th quarter clock. Split backfield, solo receiver top wide side. It's Wyatt on a quarterback keeper. Wyatt's got the edge. He's got the first down, and Wyatt's going to stay in bounds and fall forward up to the West Wilkes 44-yard line, I believe, is where they're going to mark him. Clock stops to move the chains.
Well,
the West Wilkes 44-yard line.
RPO, they just let the quarterback just carry that time. But
straight draw
great
around
job
the
by Corpening. He just took the corner out and allowed him to make the corner.
Clock is now rolling. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers to the bottom right side, solo receiver top left. And let's see, did West Wilkes get a timeout in? I believe they did. West Wilkes got a timeout with 3:11 to go. This timeout brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, RiverStreet in Wilkesboro. So it's 1st and 10 North Wilkes at the West Wilkes 44-yard line. Here you set 3 minutes, 11 seconds to go. West Wilkes 25-22. They have a 3-point lead. You got to believe field goal territory. I don't think Coach Wotecki's looking for a tie, Keith. I'll just go ahead and throw that out the window.
No, and, you know, the thing about it is if you're North Wilkes, and, you know, I hate to say this, you don't want to score too quickly. I mean, unless West just let you have it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you want to try to milk this clock down to the point where West Wilkes does not have a whole lot of time to be able to maneuver.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This is a big spot here for this North Wilkes offense and this West Wilkes defense. So here we go, split backfield for the Vikings. 2 receivers top left, snap comes. It's going to be a quarterback draw with Zach Wyatt. Wyatt's got running room. Wyatt is off to the races and will be drugged down.
About the 2-yard line.
North Wilkes got Keith. Zach Wyatt fumbled the football, but North Wilkes got it back.
Yeah.
Nearly disaster.
And they're going to give, I mean, you got to believe West is going to have plenty of time.
Yeah.
3:01 left to go.
This Blackhawk defense was stiff in the first half, but now in this second half, they've really given up yardage pretty much at will.
Yeah, that was a big gash. I mean, the middle of that line was just completely, you and me could have run through the middle of that line.
Absolutely. Split backfield here for White in the shotgun formation. Snap comes. It's a handoff for Corpening, and Corpening.
He's down to about the half-yard line.
Down to the 1-yard line. That actually works in favor for North Wilkes because the clock goes under 2.5 minutes. And now West Wilkes is going to be forced. And
take their
Keith,
second time out.
And this timeout brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, RiverStreet in Wilkesboro. Keith, you remember we sat here week 2 in the spring season. East Wilkes had the ball, down a couple of points to West Wilkes with about 2.5 minutes to go. West Wilkes opened up the center of their defense and let East Wilkes score. East Wilkes took advantage of it. West Wilkes got the ball back with enough time and put together that great game-winning touchdown drive to Shane Gregg. Does it not feel like you're in the spot here with one timeout? You just about go ahead and let them score now so you can get the football back.
I mean, that'd be the logical thing, okay? But we've seen a lot of illogical things happen here tonight. I mean, you know, if I'm West Wilkes, I'm just saying, guys, listen, just make like Moses and part the sea and let them go on in.
That's you did it in the spring and it worked to your favor against East Wilkes. So let's see if that's what they do here.
I mean, if not, you know, North's just going to milk this clock right down.
That's exactly right. I go ahead and let them score here. If I'm West Wilkes, I go ahead and let them have their points now. Let them go up 31-25 and make a decision whether to go for 2 or not. Snap comes, handoff Corpening, and Corpening walks right in. So there you go. There's the touchdown. So DeAndre Corpening from 1 yard out gives North Wilkes the lead back at 30. Let's see, that's 22. So that's going to be 28-25. Now they can just kick the PAT to make it a 4-point game. Snap comes. Kick is down, and it is good. So, now they say it is good. I was getting ready to say it looked good from our vantage point. So 2:25 to go. It is now 29-25. North Wilkes has 3 timeouts. West Wilkes has 1 timeout. It's a
North Wilkes got 2 timeouts.
Or 2 timeouts. They haven't marked it off the board here. I apologize. North Wilkes has 2 timeouts. West Wilkes has 1 timeout. So we got 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. Keith, I got a feeling they're not going to come out under center for West Wilkes here.
This once again, they're going to have to go back to that. I'm not crazy about it, but at this point in time, it's definitely going to be a passing game. So
here's the question. If you're West Wilkes here and your coach Phil Collett, do you start to dig into your bag of tricks? You've ran one reverse that worked well tonight. Is this the time that maybe you dip in? You're 0-3. What do you have to lose here, Keith? This is an in-county game. This is kind of what your season's playing for, is these last 2 in-county games against North Wilkes and Wilkes Central. Do you look into a reverse maybe on this drive?
You're gonna pull out your bag of tricks.
What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose?
Hey, let's run a flea flicker.
That's something. A Philly special. Something. So for Pennington, he's got the ball teed up on the 40.
Now, the big thing is right now, West Wilkes just got to hang on to the ball.
And it's going to be booted away.
Great kick.
Luke Tharp is going to catch it back inside the 5. Luke Tharp trying to find running room. He jukes a man. Tharp trying to get the sideline to the 20. He reverses field back the other way. Nearly loses the football. If it wasn't for the fact that Luke Tharp lost the football, he had another 15 yards ahead of him, but he got so excited trying to reverse field that he nearly lost the football.
The thing would have absolutely killed him if that ball would have got away from him. There was a bunch of white shirts around.
That would have been a scoop and score. So West Wilkes has it 25-yard line. They're on 25 for first down and 10.
2:12.
You've got 132 seconds left in this football game. First down and 10 at your own 25. You got 1 timeout. North Wilkes has 2 timeouts. And here they come under center. Well, all right. Wayne under center. He takes the snap. Here's the reverse. It's Luke Tharp, and Tharp's got open field to the 30. Cuts back 35. Going to be brought down at the 40-yard line. Hey, what did we just talk about, Keith?
Yeah, you got to do something different at this point in time. I mean, I still like the fact that he went under center.
Absolutely. As the clock stops with 2 minutes to go to move the chains. That's an Elk Outdoor of Elkin first down. You went from the 25 to the 40. That's a good 15-yard gain. Clock is rolling now down to 1 minute 49 seconds. Wayne under center again. Wayne takes the snap. Play action pass. He's looking. He's going deep to Shane Gregg, and it's going to be called. Shane Gregg to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Can you believe it? It happened for the second year in a row. Shane Gregg with a touchdown catch, and the Blackhawks have the lead with a minute and a half to play, but North Wilkes still has two timeouts. Holy cow, what a throw by Logan Wayne to Shane Gregg. Shane Gregg on one leg has pulled through to give the Blackhawks the lead. No flags on the field. Holy Mother of Moses. That was a 60-yard touchdown pass, and the Blackhawks are going to go for two to try to make this a 33-29 ball game. Snap comes. Handoff. Braden Woody. Woody trying to fight forward, and Woody will not get there.
Stop short.
So, a field goal now could win this football game for North Wilkes, as Braden Woody was unable to get there, but we got a minute 31 to go. It's West Wilkes 31, North Wilkes 29. We're back in 30 seconds on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back to West Wilkes High School. We have got 91 seconds of football left to be played, and West Wilkes has a 31-29 lead. North Wilkes with two timeouts, West Wilkes with one timeout. And I tell you what, Keith Bryan, have we been treated to a game here tonight in Week 7?
This has really been an exciting game, for lack of a better word. I mean, both teams back and forth, and this is the kind of game that really, if you're a West Wilkes fan or a North Wilkes fan, you got to take your hat off to both these teams.
Hey, they've left it all out on the field on both sides tonight. Brondos with the ball teed up on the 40-yard line. West Wilkes trying to get their first win of the year. North Wilkes trying to get win number 2. And it's going to be fielded far sideline. Trying to find some running room is North Wilkes on the kickoff return. That's number 23. That is Nick Seskley. So, North Wilkes has got 60 yards to work with a minute 23 seconds and 2 timeouts. Still plenty of time for this offense, because in the second half, they have moved the ball at will on this West Wilkes defense.
And you don't need to go to the pass right now. You got plenty of time, I think, to run some running plays. You got timeouts, and if you take the ball wide, just run out of bounds, kill the clock.
Split backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Corpening. Corpening trying to get some running room around the outside, and Corpening is going to be bottled up as West Wilkes is scraping for that football, and Corpening comes up with his chest bowed up on the sideline. He's got to be careful. Last thing you want to do is get flagged.
The best thing about it was
he got out of bounds.
West, instead of going for the ball, they should have kept him in bounds.
A minute and 10 seconds ticking.
No, they started the clock back.
So here we go. We're down to 60 seconds to play here, and Coach Woteki's going to have to burn a timeout. And Coach Woteki's not happy.
What he's saying is they should have stopped the clock. He went out of bounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the clock was running, and I'm sure that's what Coach Woteki is complaining about right now. He went straight to the referee.
So it's at their own 42-yard line. 60 seconds to play. 31-29, West Wilkes has the lead. What a game this has been at Window World Field tonight. The energy is there. Both sides are packed up. The hill to our side is packed up. People lined up across the fence. West Wilkes and North Wilkes, whoever comes out victorious in the next 60 seconds of clock time, Keith, you can't say that neither team has not left all of their themselves out on this field tonight.
If your coach call it, you got to really be irregardless of what happens in the next minute, you got to be happy about the way that these kids have performed for you tonight.
Pistol formation with trips wide receivers on the left side. Pressure coming. Wyatt avoids one sack. Wyatt still rolling. He's got to do something. Wyatt is going to be hit still on his feet, and Wyatt is trying to get out of bounds, and a second effort does, but a lot of clock is rolling. We're down to 44 seconds, down to 42 seconds. The clock is still rolling. The clock has never stopped. We're down to 37 seconds. North Wilkes, instead of trying to run a play, and a flag comes out, And is that going to be against North?
Well, the coach came out on the field, and once again,
it may be on Woteki. They may be going to throw him with a flag here, but I understand he got out of bounds. The clock should have stopped. And
he's asking for an explanation. I'm sure of that.
Is the White Hat saying they blew him dead in bounds? Is that what the White Hat's telling him?
See, I never seen a motion for start the clock or anything.
And Coach Woteki's moved all the way down to the far side of the field. Are they going to mark off 15 yards against North Wilkes here, Keith?
Let's see. I mean, that's twice.
They're going to mark yards off. Coach Robert Johnson is not happy either. He's out near the 50-yard line. And they're going to unsportsmanlike conduct against North Wilkes. Keith, 32 seconds left. Could that be something we look back on right here?
Well, you know, to me, I can understand where Coach Woteki's
absolutely
right here. That's twice we've seen North Wilkes players get thrown out of bounds, and the clock has continued to run.
And Coach Woteki's going to call a timeout, or is West Wilkes calling the timeout? No. So that's going to leave them with what, one timeout?
Yeah, one timeout
And
left.
this timeout brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, RiverStreet, Wilkesboro. Now both teams only have one timeout left. With 32.6 seconds to play, West Wilkes with a 31-29 lead. Who wants it more? North Wilkes now with the ball back at their own 30-yard line. The line marker to gain is the 50. It is going to be 3rd down and 20. So for North Wilkes, Keith, you got 2 cracks at it left to move the chains.
Yeah, well, what I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to you ain't going to get it all on one play. What you got to do is get you about 15 or 20 yards.
Burn your last time out if you don't get out of bounds.
Burn your last time out, and then you go for your the end zone.
So here we go. 32 seconds to play. 3rd down and 20 for North Wilkes. Ball at their own 30-yard line. Corporating the tailback with 2 receivers to both sides. The snap comes. It's a reverse to Drew Winkler. They're going to Wyatt. Wyatt's going to be drilled. And is he going to be incomplete? Now they're going to say he caught the football. North Wilkes has got to hurry. They're down to 20 seconds.
All timeout.
And North Wilkes clock still ticking, 15 seconds. North Wilkes is not using their last time out. This is 11 seconds. 4th down here. Pressure coming. It's going to be a bomb. 7 seconds. It's going to be caught with 3 seconds to play. 3.5 seconds to play. And North Wilkes is going to have a crack at the end zone. Unbelievable.
That pass was caught in double coverage.
Oh, what a play by Reese Cleary. Holy cow, 3.5 seconds to play. And did Coach Woteki call his timeout?
Well, they stopped the clock.
To move the chains, but I never saw a motion for a timeout. He didn't use his timeout, so here we go. This is the game. Wyatt takes the snap. He throws. It's going to be incomplete. The Blackhawks are going to walk off the field victorious tonight. Congratulations to Coach Phil Collett, and the Blackhawks are winners, 31-29 in a barn burner here at Millers Creek tonight. Coach Collett gets this Blackhawk team to 1-3. What a difference it made here tonight. They never quit. They never surrendered. They fought through the adversity here tonight. And the Blackhawks are walking out with win number 1 on the season. 31-29. Wilkes Communications postgame show starts now. Wayne takes the snap. Play action pass. He's looking. He's going deep to Shane Gregg, and it's going to be caught. Shane Gregg to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Can you believe it? It happened for the 2nd year in a row. Shane Gregg with a touchdown catch, and the Blackhawks have the lead with 1.5 minutes to play. Holy cow, what a throw by Logan Wayne to Shane Gregg. Shane Gregg on one leg has pulled through to give the Blackhawks the lead. No flags on the field. And welcome back to West Wilkes High School here tonight. 31-29. The West Wilkes Blackhawks win a thriller here over the North Wilkes Vikings. Congratulations to Coach Phil Collett as the Blackhawks get to 1-3 on the season. North Wilkes now falls to 1-4 on the season. And Keith, I tell you what a game. It was back and forth, and it truly came down to who had the ball last.
Well, it definitely did, and you gotta admire West Wilkes. You had talked about that in the pregame.
Yeah.
That Coach Collett almost challenged their manhood, if
basically.
You will. Okay, and I'm sure that he feels like. I mean, if I was in his position right now, I mean, I would really feel good about. This is what the kids needed to respond to. They responded to the coach.
This is a last month of the season changing type of win where you walk in now to that North Surrey matchup next week believing that you can do something.
Yeah.
Something they hadn't tasted this year.
Well, the other thing is we saw them effectively do something that the West Wilkes teams of old, they kind of went back to old school, old West Wilkes. We saw it many times with Coach Halleck. We saw it with Coach Pruitt. We saw it with, you go on, Coach Shepard. These were the things that made West Wilkes great. A great fullback, a great halfback, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Use that line to effectively. And, they went back to that. And, that to me, that was the story of the game tonight.
Absolutely.
For the Blackhawks.
I could not agree with you more as far as that comes, Keith. And you look at our Randy Marion of Wilkesboro drive of the game. It's got to be that last offensive drive for the Blackhawks. You started out with a reverse, Luke Tharp. He picks up 15 yards, and then you get a 60-yard bomb where Shane Gregg goes up and connects it with it in coverage. The ball gets tipped, and he catches it back on the tip and scores. Is that not your drive of the game for West Wilkes?
Well, it definitely is. But, we talked earlier, you kind of wondered how on that fake punt. That could have very well, but I'm going to tell you what was even more important than that last score, and that was that safety.
Absolutely. Elijah Ramirez.
The reason I say that is you almost could feel the West Wilkes, the whole West Wilkes team being deflated after that.
Or North Wilkes was deflated. West Wilkes was rejuvenated.
Yeah.
Really,
well,
how
what
you
I
look
meant
at that.
was after the punt.
Yes.
Okay, that's when West Wilkes was deflated.
Absolutely.
They needed to do something to get that momentum back. And I tell you what, that safety. I know that last pass of the game to Gregg won the game, but I believe it all stems from that safety right there.
Absolutely.
You could see momentum all of a sudden shift back to the Blackhawks.
Yes, you could. And, man, did it ever pay off for them. Congratulations to the Blackhawks. Win number 1 on the season, 31-29. They are victorious over North Wilkes tonight in a thriller. Also, another final to report you to is Surrey Central over Elkin, 27-14. And we still don't have an update on the East Wilkes South Stokes game. We are trying to get that for you at this time. Nothing updated has been reported. According to this, one score to tell you about, Ashe County and Alexander Central in a battle, 36-36 in the fourth quarter in Taylorsville. So that's definitely one to keep your eye on. And we're trying to find an update on that East Wilkes South Stokes game at this time. It still shows a 7-7 game, but it hasn't been updated in the second half. So we will try to find that for you. If not, tune into the sports desk tomorrow morning, and we will get that for you as it becomes available. But again, Keith, our Sonic Drive-In player of the game tonight, there's a couple of guys you can look at. You can look at Logan Wayne. You can look at Shane Gregg. You can even look at Elijah Ramirez, the freshman, or Braden Woody as well. Who do you find as your player of the game tonight for West Wilkes?
Well, there's one player that you didn't mention.
Okay, fill me in.
Holt Hanchy.
Well,
and the reason I say that is when he came out to start the game, right then and there, you could see he made a big difference.
He did make
in that
I would have loved to seen how this game would have finished out if Hanchy would have stayed healthy.
I'm not saying he should be player of the game.
But he's a candidate.
Yeah, he's definitely a candidate, even though he didn't play the second half. All right, he made a big difference on that 15-8 lead I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Hey, you want me to tell you another guy, I think, the way he rebounded from a mental mistake there in the first half? When they went back under center, Braden Woody was a truck on the loose, man. Braden Woody was just nonstop, go, go, go. In all honesty, Keith, could you say that Braden Woody's the one that put this game away for West Wilkes in some instances?
I kind of lean toward him. Now, like I said, that safety was big.
By Ramirez.
Okay. And, if you just said, well, let's give it to Ramirez, I would have said that's okay with me. But I'm going to tell you what.
Braden
when
Woody.
It came right down to it, Woody, how many times did you see him break tackles?
Oh, man. He was just a man on a mission. And it worked out for Braden Woody tonight. And, Keith, I believe our Sonic Drive-In player of the game's got to be Braden Woody.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I think that is a great choice, and Braden Woody is our Sonic Drive-In player of the game. Well, next Friday night, we've got another in-county matchup here as we will make the trip over to Hayes. The North Wilkes Vikings will take on the Wilkes Central Eagles next Friday night in our game of the week. But we want to thank the athletic staff here at West Wilkes High School for hosting us here tonight high atop Window World Field. It's been fun, folks. It was a thriller. West Wilkes pulls one out over North Wilkes, 31-29 in great fashion. We want to appreciate all of our sponsors. Be sure to tune in to the video-style broadcast coming up at the beginning of the week. Wilkes Communications will have that out along with the play of the game as well. So stay tuned to YouTube, Facebook, social media platforms for all of that. A special thank you to our sponsors as always as we sign off here on this Friday night, October the 1st. Congratulations to the West Wilkes Blackhawks, 31-29. They are victorious over the North Wilkes Vikings. We hope you have a safe and happy weekend, and always remember, give thanks to the good Lord above. Again, West Wilkes victorious over North Wilkes tonight here in our game of the week.